including one clip that's gotten over 950,000 views about the oldest that should be worth more if she sold it to a collector and an autographed piece of cash. However, she's been unable to identify who actually signed the bill. She said she called back the thrift store and asked if anybody had asked about a piggy bank. I doubt that, too, and she said they didn't, so she's keeping it. I don't believe it.
This stuff happens all the time.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah. You find the craziest stuff in thrift stores and antique stores.
Have you ever? Has that ever happened to you? Do you do this?
I don't go to thrift stores very often, but I'll peruse some discount stores and see if I can find some stuff to flip.
Okay, the only way this happens is if that's in a box and you take the box out just completely forgetting this. But if you pull the piggy bank out to take it, you notice something's in it. You're always going to look to see what was in it, right?
There were a lot of plastic bags in there, so
yeah.
If like those are rustling around, you might just be like, oh, okay, it'll be like good protection.
Yeah. Is this social influencer or is this just random person on TikTok? That's what I want to know.
That is a good question.
Because if it's social influencer, like, look, this part of what we do as a company here, we make money off of social media, okay? And we don't hide that. But when people are doing that as their sole living, I am inclined to doubt anything they put on there because the more viral it goes, the more money they make. So, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then the other side is there's a really popular style of content, which is just unboxings.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You guys used to do that with the DVDs, right?
Yeah, whether it's a mystery box of DVDs or thrift store finds or whatever.
Yeah.
People will watch you open it.
I don't know. Good for them. I guess if they got $20,000 out of or $2,000 out of a thrift store.
Don't believe it, but yeah, if they did, good for them. Man was bitten on the face and hands by a raccoon he tried to save this weekend. Unfortunately, later tested positive for rabies, according to the Chattahoochee Nature Center.
Yeah,
look at that thing; it looks mean as hell.
It's understandable. Raccoons are vicious animals. They are far meaner than they look. It's another animal that we've normalized through cartoons. Hippos, raccoons. We've normalized all those animals.
I think board games normalized hippos.
Yeah,
it's like, they're just
very
fun.
they're hungry.
They like apples.
Yeah.
Man found the injured raccoon, attempted to bring it to the nature center himself. He wrapped the raccoon in his coat, held it against his chest as he drove for over an hour. Now, during the drive, the raccoon bit the man on his face and hands. So when he went home to wrap the raccoon in a blanket with duct tape before driving back to the nature center, when the man arrived at the nature center, the camp director alerted the wildlife clinic. Staff met him in the parking lot, put the raccoon in a kennel. Staff encouraged the man to go to the hospital for treatment. A raccoon was euthanized.
Oh, well, why?
At the vet hospital, less than 48 hours, Wildlife Center was told it had tested positive for rabies. I guess at that point, there's nothing you can do for the animal.
If you find a rabid animal, you have to euthanize it, right?
They stress people should always call professionals, licensed professionals, and not try to handle this yourself. Getting rabies would really suck.
I would agree with you on that, yes.
Yeah, so if it's actively rabid, it's got pretty much like 2 days left to live at that point if it's actively symptomatic.
So you may as well go ahead and kill it.
So how quick will rabies kill a human? Any idea?
I think it takes about a week or so.
Okay.
All of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, welcome in. It is another day of the next round. Along with Lance Taylor, I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway's still a bit under the weather. Hopefully can be in with us. Back tomorrow. One of our great tacky Christmas sweaters the fake Dunaway is wearing.
Where did we get all these?
I do not know.
I know we had a party up here one year.
Did we just leave them behind?
I guess people shedded them right after the show.
That one's actually mine.
Oh, that's right. That is Scott's. I remember you wearing
I brought that one in.
You brought it in?
For the mannequin.
Yeah, there was one that was just laying around back in the back, and I'm like, somebody just took it off and said, I'm never wearing this again.
When did this become such a thing? Because I think we had the tacky sweater reveal a couple of years ago, but before that, like, you couldn't find tacky sweaters anywhere, and now, like, when
They're
you go
everywhere.
online, there's more than you can imagine.
Yeah,
like thousands and thousands.
There's a local store just down the road here that's got a whole section of them.
Oh, just tacky sweaters.
But now everybody's kind of wearing the same ones, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know what,
just
what
because
the selection's looking like this year.
Well, I'm just saying everybody goes to the same place to
that's
get
true,
them. And
yeah.
I know the place
Yeah.
that you're talking about.
And I've seen more recently that, like, a lot of them will be themed around different characters or shows or movies. So, like, you'll see a bunch of people with an Elf one that has some quote from Elf or Christmas Vacation or something else.
Ton of Christmas Vacations.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a legendary movie that has never lost its pop.
The best place to get them is to raid Grandma's closet.
Then
you
get
gotta
genuine ugly
thrift it
ones.
and
Yeah,
get
Yeah, that's exactly it.
genuine
I
tacky
do
sweater.
think Dunaway jokingly wore a female sweater. No, actually, I think he bought it and didn't realize it was a female sweater one year.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke.
It wasn't a joke. He bought it and then later realized this is a female sweater. And but he still wore it. To his credit, I'll give him credit. He bit the bullet and wore it on Tacky Sweater Day.
Yeah, you pull one out of the closet, though, there's a good chance the moth has gotten a hold of it,
Yeah.
right?
I don't, I don't have moth issues at the house. Is that still
No,
a thing?
I'm talking about for grandmother.
Oh,
I'm
for
sure-
grandma,
I'm sure
yeah.
it
Yeah,
is,
if it's one of those houses built in the 1950s.
Yeah, you gonna have moths. Nate Oats is going to join the show pretty early here as soon as he finishes up some film study and team meetings before his team practices. They've got number 1 Arizona coming up this weekend. Just another tough game for the Crimson Tide as number 1 Arizona comes to Birmingham.
Have we ever seen a schedule like this?
I was going to ask Nate that.
Yeah.
It is pretty wild. It is just one tough game after another for the
Yeah, and
Crimson
definitely
Tide.
something we can get into. You know, it's not going to affect you unless you lose all of these, and then you're very subpar in the conference schedule, and then at that point you don't deserve to get an at-large. But, boy, how different is at least the perception become when we're talking about college football and scheduling difficult out-of-conference games.
Well, yeah, the Notre Dame athletic director told us yesterday that they played one of the most dominating runs. That was not a difficult schedule. They dominated. If you played a schedule like this in football, you wouldn't make the postseason. Basketball's a different sport, though. And Alabama has certainly played a challenging schedule, and that will continue on Saturday when number 1 Arizona plays here in Birmingham. The head coach of the Crimson Tide, Nate Oats, starts the show with us. Welcome in, Coach. Dunaway out sick today. He's not going to be at practice, so we apologize.
Yeah, what? It's an ugly sweater day, and Dunaway sent his sweater in instead of his person there, or what?
Dunaway said, just have my sweater on set just in case. Yes.
Do you ever get – so you've got such a built-in excuse. Like these holiday parties, you're obviously working. You're working your ass off, so you can't go to tacky sweater party. You can't go to Christmas parties. But have you ever put one of these sweaters on?
No, I don't even own one, nor will I ever buy one. So if you got to wear a tacky sweater to go to the party, yeah, I got too much video to watch. So I got to go to a high school game or something.
Your voice is you're in March voice
that's right
now.
Mid-season form for the boys.
Yeah, we've had some big do it too many times and your voice doesn't recover well enough.
We were joking about one of your post games. If I had $1 for every time you complained about rebounding after a loss, we wouldn't be doing this show right now. So, but I mean, tell me something positive that you have learned about this team. It's been a challenging schedule. We'll talk to you about that. But as you look at this team, what has maybe surprised you in a positive nature for this team?
I mean, we take care of the ball. We haven't had many turnover issues. We've had multiple games where we've had single-digit turnovers. So, we talk about, we've done it, and you guys are pretty well versed in analytics and know it well enough to conversate about it. But we've kind of gone all in on the shot geography, taking the proper shots, the shots that yield the highest efficiency, but the kind of the next step that everybody in the NBA has gone to is the possession game on. So, nobody in the NBA is taking a bunch of terrible shots really anymore. There's still plenty of college teams that do, but kind of the next iteration is trying to win the possession game with, fewer turnovers and more offensive rebounds than your opponent. So the turnover deal, we've on the offensive side, we've been good. We got to force more turnovers on the defensive side. And we've shown we're capable of being a pretty good offensive rebounding team. We just haven't done a very good job keeping the other team off the offensive boards on our defensive end. So I think we've got the capability, even though maybe we're not super physical, maybe at the 4 spot all the time. But, Taylor in that St. John's game showed he's capable of it. Our guards can go get rebounds. Amari's been a really good rebounder. So we're just going to have to kind of do the rebounding by committee and shoot. We're going to get pushed on it Saturday against Arizona. They're #1 team in the country, and they do it kind of with, I don't want to call it football, but it's definitely smash mouth. I mean, they're pounding it inside pretty much every. They're like, I didn't look this morning. Yesterday they were 363rd out of 365 Division I teams on 3-point rate, meaning there's only 2 teams that shoot fewer threes per field goals than they do. So they're not trying to kill you on the perimeter. They're trying to smash it right into the lane and beat you in the paint.
Just because you are so emphatic when it comes to rebounding, one more rebounding question. I mean, when you go back last year, you guys were second nationally, only behind Illinois. And I think right now you're 17th nationally. But I think your numbers are actually up, are they not?
You're talking about rebounds per game?
Per game, yeah.
Yeah, so, and typically I let the stats go when they go in our favor, and all the talking heads talk about raw numbers, like our points per game, or this, or that. Everything's got to be spoken with the understanding that we play the fastest tempo in the country pretty much every year. So there's going to be more rebounds to be had. There's going to be more shots to be had, more points to be scored, all that. So it goes 2 ways. When people talk about us leading the country in scoring, well, we give ourselves a good chance to lead the country in scoring every year because we have more possessions than everybody every year. We also, on the defensive end, it's not good to talk about, they're terrible because they give up so many points per game. No, that's not how you look at it. You look at it, what's the defensive efficiency? How many points per possessions do we give up? So on the rebounding side, you got to look at rebounding rates. And my guess is we're not top 20 in rebounding rate. We may be top 20 in rebounds per game because there's a lot more rebounds to be had than a lot of the other teams. So I'm looking at rebounding rate, and I don't like what our rebounding rate is right now. So, for our fans that want to talk positively about it and talk a bunch of trash to the other people's fans out in the country, they can use rebounds per game if they like, and we look a lot better than what we probably are. When you actually look at rebounding rate, I don't like where we're at. So, yeah, you guys can go ahead and keep talking about the rebounds per game, though. It makes us look a lot better.
We'll do that. That's our analytics. Nate Oats is with us, the Alabama basketball coach on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. CMNewtonClassic.com for all the info on the game Saturday night down at Legacy Arena. Ticketmaster has the tickets for you. Some still available in the upper levels there, and you can go watch the #1 team in the nation, Arizona, the #12 team in the nation, currently Alabama, play at Legacy Arena. Should be a fun game. Our Bill was talking about it last night during UConn, Florida, how entertaining he thinks this game will be Saturday night. You could see it for yourself. Get tickets at Ticketmaster. So that brings up the scheduling question. Ken Palm says you have the second most difficult schedule in America right now, and you haven't even played Arizona yet.
Who's #1? Some team that got bought by every team they play, I'm guessing. Maybe?
It's A&M Corpus Christi, who must have played the Thunder and the Knicks because they're #1.
Oh, they get bought. They probably haven't had a home game yet. They've gone and had to get bought. Like I was at a mid-major. I know. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So no, we play a tough schedule, but the best team we may play is right there in Birmingham. I mean, Arizona's #1 in the country right now, and for all the fans, when we first got here, the group that helps us put this game on, Night Edie up there in Birmingham, talked to us about trying to get quality opponents for the game. We've done our job on our end of getting quality opponents for this game. It's not, nothing against Liberty or Davidson, who've been some of the teams we've had to play up there for this game in Birmingham. We've now brought in Illinois and Arizona. I would hope that the basketball fans, Alabama fans in particular, but basketball fans in general in Alabama, appreciate the fact we're bringing them in, and we got to sell out on Saturday because we've done our job in bringing in the best teams in the country to play this game in Birmingham. So I don't know quite what your question was, but I don't know if that was the answer to it. But
yeah, I mean, I would. Has it been what you wanted? Has it done what you've wanted it to do for this team as you look back on it? Because some could argue, oh, it's too difficult. But I mean, has it accomplished what you wanted it to accomplish? Because this is your scheduling philosophy, obviously.
Yeah, I think so, because we've gotten some quality wins. I mean, that St. John's on the road, Illinois on the road. They're semi-road. But to me, I don't know how you count the St. John's being a semi-away. No, like they play half their games in Madison Square Garden. Just because they play a few games on campus, they play all their big games in the Garden. So that's a road win. The Illinois one in Chicago, there was a couple Alabama fans there. That's a road win. So we've got some quality road wins. We've got some quality home wins. Clemson's a nice one. We've been exposed as to what we need to work on and given a chance to work on it. And we'll be much better off for it come SEC play. I think, there's some teams in the SEC that don't play good schedules that all of a sudden they get to SEC play and they don't know what they're bad at. And all of a sudden they start getting exposed during conference play. We know what we got to work on. We've got time to work on it. We've been on our guys about it. And I don't think you have to go undefeated. I mean, shoot, the year we were the number 1 overall seed, we weren't undefeated in non-conference play. So you got to take some losses and get better. We've taken some losses. We've gotten better from it. We've got some quality wins, and we got one more, like, for sure guaranteed quad 1 game with Arizona coming in here with a chance to get a win against, and we've gotten wins against number 1 teams in the country before. It's going to take a great effort to get this one, but it's sitting there in front of us with a chance to, and whether we win or lose, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves and be able to get better before we hit SEC play in January.
And they've got some great wins as well, sitting at 8-0 for their wins, top 20 wins, coming off a 29-point win against the Auburn Tigers right there in conference. You brought this up about Tommy Lloyd, and I don't know how well you know Tommy Lloyd, but the philosophy that he carries on, at least with this roster, I mean, you guys have already attempted 325 threes. They've only attempted 128, virtually the same games. 8 games for them, 9 games for you guys. You've almost shot 3 times as many threes. Is it an interesting philosophy? Obviously, it's working for the number 1 team in college basketball.
I mean, it's tough. Yeah, and I do know Tommy pretty well. He's a great guy. I like, if you had him on the show, you guys would love him. He's really good. Sometimes you compete against some of these guys and they're real kind of arrogant pricks and you really want to drill him, but he's not. He's like the opposite. He's like great dude. I worked with him for 3 days out in USA basketball. He was the head coach. He did a great job. They won a gold medal. And, I got to know him a lot better. Went out to some dinners and stuff this past summer. But it's one of those deals where you can have totally different philosophies and still win. He gets his guys to play hard. They're tough. They're physical. But, yeah, very distinctly different philosophies. Shoot, we just took 57 threes our last game. You double that, and that's what they got in 8 games pretty much. So they're taking 16 a game. We took 16 before the second media timeout last game, I think. So we're going to need to hit a few. We're more than capable of hitting a lot. I mean, everybody's going to try to take us off the 3-point line. I'm sure they'll try to do the same thing. they do a pretty good job defensively, and they're super physical, and they try to take you out of what you do. And we spread the floor out a lot more than them. They try to pound it inside, but they do a good job. I mean, they've got, he's been able to recruit some of the better bigs in the country, some of the more physical. Like Cole Pete at the 4 is a real matchup problem. They're 5-man 7-2, and he's skilled. So, they've got problems. They're going to score some 2s. We understand it. We're going to have to score some 3s and some 2s both. And, the interesting thing with them is a lot of the post-up teams like them will play very slow and make sure they methodically they actually play pretty fast. They try to run it up your throat. Jaden Bradley, who was great for us, we were the number 1 overall seed, and he started the majority of the games that year, and he understands how to play fast. He'll push the ball. I mean, he'll get in the paint before the bigs get down there if you don't get back, get your defense set. So they do a really good job of playing fast and playing inside, once they get in the half court. So we got to do a great job in transition. We got to do a great job our post D. We got to do a great job keeping the ball out on drives, and we got to rebound it. The defensive rebounding on our end is going to be a big deal.
All right, I know you got to get to practice. I learned from you last year in an interview that parallel lines can intersect in Euclidean geometry. I spent 6 years at Jacksonville State, never once heard that. I learned it from you. Can you leave us with another math fact of the day? Can you give us a math fact?
Math fact of the day, man. You get into some deep ones. Well, my 8th grade daughter informed me. She's talking to me about how hard her math class is and the pre-algebra, and they're covering stuff that's more difficult than pre-algebra. I said, well, Bree, like you got a math tutor in the house, right? Like they do new math stuff now. I'm like, Bree, come on. It's pre-algebra. So maybe I should ask Bree what maybe there's some new math out there I don't know in the pre-algebra.
Yeah. I learned some of the new math. I didn't know the old math. That was my problem. I didn't know the old math well enough to learn the new math.
Yeah, I just don't get you. And I was doing this with my kids. I'm like, I've got the answer. Well, you've got to show your answer now.
No, I don't.
It doesn't matter. I've got the answer.
Yeah, it was teachers like Coach Oats that made you show your work. You had to show your work.
I thought back when they can get the answer now. They just got to go to AI. It'll give them the answer.
That's true.
So I'm all for showing the work because they got to actually know how to do a little bit of math. I mean, I don't know if I've got any. I got to get sharpened up on some tricky math stuff when I get on with you guys. I don't know how we got on the non-Euclidean parallel lines intersecting last time, but that's a good one.
Yep.
I got a question for you. Who decorates who does the holiday decoration? I might need you guys to come in before the program. Got the nice trees there. I might need
that was the Brown. The Brown family came up here on Black Friday, right?
Yeah, so we were in Auburn before the Iron Bowl doing our show. My wife and 2 daughters came up and decorated the studio.
Yeah, send them out to my place. We got a staff Christmas party. We need some decorations like that. We'll put them to work out here.
I'll get with
send me the Amazon list. I'll just order it and put it up.
I'll get with Greg Byrne on the price on this, and we'll get that set up.
There you go.
All right, thank you, Coach. Always good to see you.
All right, fellas, roll Tide.
All right, take care. That is Nate Oats, the Alabama basketball coach. The CM Newton Classic is coming up Saturday night down at Legacy Arena. CMNewtonClassic.com. Ticketmaster is where you can get the tickets as well. And if you will hurry through tomorrow morning, there's a flash sale for upper level tickets. CM Flash, 50% off upper level tickets with the code CM Flash. CM Flash gets you 50% off upper level tickets there at the CM Newton Classic, Alabama and Arizona. So some seats still available there at Ticketmaster, CMNewtonClassic.com.
Did we get an arrogant prick quote from Nate Oats? That was pretty awesome.
That was, and a lot of people in the chat room guessing who he was talking about. I will point out to some of you, he and Dan Hurley are close friends, so I don't think
they are, but I mean, I've got friends that I would call arrogant pricks.
Okay.
So I'm just saying.
That's true.
I mean, you can be real with friends, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody. I think Dan Hurley's wife would tell you that.
I think so. Dan Hurley probably owns it.
He probably would.
All right. Before we move on, Twin Peaks bringing you part of the show today.
Yeah, hey, Twin Peaks. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Twin Peak girls running around in 3D, serving up those 29-degree signature drinks. Somebody asked me yesterday if the Twin Peak girl is AI. Now that Nate Oats mentioned AI. I can't confirm nor deny whether or not that Twin Peak girl right there is AI, but there's plenty of them that aren't, and they will be running around all your local Twin Peaks. Maybe, a lot of people wait for the weekend to go have that good time. They're serving scratch food, pouring quality cocktails every day after dark. Come by the Lodge. Experience the best late nights in the league today, tomorrow, or any day of the week. It's all from our friends at Twin Peaks.
And don't forget, if you are looking maybe to start 2026 with a New Year's resolution, Way to Wellness can help you with that. If part of that resolution is losing weight, they've got programs for that. If part of that resolution is just getting your numbers back in order, maybe your blood pressure, your cholesterol, things like that, they've got programs for that as well at Way to Wellness. The great news is it's not some cookie cutter plan that they're giving out to everyone. It is a plan specifically designed for you. That's why their website is aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com at Way to Wellness. Your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified staff will give you a full evaluation and walk you through the plans that work best for you based on the numbers they find. aplanforme.com, Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. aplanforme.com is the website. Since we were talking to Nate Oats, 2 games last night at Madison Square Garden that he was talking about, he's right. I didn't know the way he talked about that, they were counting that maybe as a neutral site game against St. John's.
Man,
it's still a quad 1 win either way.
Yeah, but when you watch that game, it was nothing but St. John's fans.
They play half their home games there. I don't know how that would be counted as a neutral site.
I can't. I don't know about you. That might have been the most chaotic atmosphere they've played in thus far.
Yeah, potentially, until they hit the road in conference. That's probably going to be it, yeah. Last night at Madison Square Garden, BYU beat Clemson 67-64. A.J. DeBonsa, 28 points in that game.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say.
I did see that that your oh my gosh, what am I looking for? Your Wooden Player of the Year. I don't know if you've seen these early odds that have come out.
Oh, I have not.
Yeah.
He's got to be near the top.
Well, Cameron Boozer's number one.
Sure.
Yeah, but he was like 4th or 5th shortest odds, and then LeBaron Philon's right behind him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right behind DeBonsa?
Yeah, I think within the top 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously Cameron Boozer is your guy right now.
Yeah, and then speaking of Danny Hurley, the nightcap, UConn beat Florida. This was an entertaining game, 77-73. UConn kept them at arm's length most of the second half. There were times where Florida would go on a run and get close, maybe even tie it, but they just really couldn't get over that hurdle with UConn.
Yeah, look, 2 really, really good teams, a rematch of what we saw last March, and, got to watch some of that game. Xavier Lee is kind of a fascinating player, and you heard Billis talking about him. A player that came over this year to Todd Golden from Princeton, and a guy that really can run this offense, and he's still learning his way. I think this Florida team with Lee and Flan in this backfield or in this backcourt, they're just going to get better and better as the season goes on.
Yeah, I agree. Lee apparently is getting a whole lot of criticism. Billis was talking about this. He doesn't score well enough. But boy, Todd Golden plays him a ton. Like, he's out there a lot.
Well, you can see, he's a bigger point at 6'4", 180, 185 pounds. He's got great handle, and he's just got great court vision and awareness. Last night, 1 of 7 behind the arc. He was 5 of 14 overall. But I think that's more trying to figure out the system, find out new teammates, playing with the bigs like Condon, and, it'll all come together. And I do think this Florida team is going to be much, much better. And I don't think they're going to be the Florida team they were last year because Clayton was so good, but I think Florida's going to be a handful.
Yeah, so those were the games last night. Nothing in the top 25 of note tonight. So a night off from basketball, and we start the football back tomorrow night and through the weekend. I was surprised to learn
bowl games
that there's a bowl game Saturday night.
Well, I know it when you look at the date. These dates all seem to run together after Thanksgiving. And, talking to Brock Heward on Unlocked, I was like, well, enjoy the games this weekend. He's like, yeah, we've got UW and Boise. And I'm like, oh, my God, the bowl games are already Saturday.
Yeah, I don't remember ever
It's like these teams don't ever get out of their routine, right?
I know. They literally
Boise
don't.
just played this week.
Yeah, it's essentially, Washington's taking a bye week and Boise's coming off a championship game. I don't remember a college game the night of the Army-Navy game. I've always felt like Army-Navy was standalone, except maybe the FCS playoffs if those had started, and they have started. But I don't remember a bowl game the night of Army-Navy, but we got one Saturday night on ABC.
Not at all, because you go back last year, we were at the Floribama the last couple of years, and there haven't been bowl games.
Yeah, so that was surprising to learn. I was looking ahead at some of the games. Washington and Boise State playing in a bowl game, the LA Bowl, coming up Saturday night. So you already get your bowl games started Saturday night. By the way, we didn't mention this, understandably. We were talking about the college football playoff and the SEC championship game won by Georgia. There was a massive upset in the FCS Saturday. Illinois State went to Fargo and beat North Dakota State. They were a 24.5-point dog in that game.
When is the last time that's happened?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I don't know that it has in our lifetime.
Well, I'm just talking about going into not in the finals, but
just
I'm talking about
loss in the dome.
Yeah, in these early rounds.
I don't know. I mean, 24.5-point underdog, Illinois State. I was trying to make it a college football equivalent, and I do think it would be basically James Madison winning at Oregon. What's that point spread?
No, it's 21.5.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a little bit lower. So, I mean, it would be James Madison winning at Oregon, Illinois State beating North Dakota State.
I will tell you, so this is the good and the bad. I guess you could look at it from both sides, but that would be the worst thing that would happen to everybody that is bitching and complaining about Group 5s being in. You heard Klatt yesterday talking about what are we doing here. But if James Madison went out and won, I mean, that's going to set us back to where – how do you deny one of these teams if they win a game?
Well, we're going to talk some about this. Joey McGuire actually discussed this, and we'll do that when we return. We like Joey McGuire on this show, the Texas Tech coach. He's a good soundbite, and he discussed this. We'll do that when we come back because I was telling the boys in the back, Scott told me about this Joey McGuire, and he's like, hey, this is pretty good on the Group of 5 teams. And I'm like, it's crazy that Notre Dame getting left out is what has caused this discussion now. Like, I think if Notre Dame gets in, we don't have near the discussion about 2 Group 5 teams getting in. The ACC would have been completely shut out, and maybe that would have started the discussion, but nothing like Notre Dame did.
No.
Notre Dame getting left out is one of the main reasons we are talking about these Group of 5 teams. They took the bullet for Notre Dame there that they didn't know was coming their way.
I mean, I don't know what kind of odds you could have gotten on 2 Group 5s getting in. And if you would have, if you would have said, hey, Boise is going to win their conference championship this past weekend and 2 Group 5s are getting in, how did they not get in?
Yeah, it's Boise and who else?
Yeah.
Boise and what American team got in? Yeah, and it wasn't even Boise. All right, so we'll hear what Joey McGuire has to say about that when we return. The Lock last night. I know you had a good night in college basketball there at Lance'sLock.com.
Yeah, 2-0 in college hoops last night. Jump on board. We've got 2 more college hoops plays up and available. Those will be up in the next hour. Free play every single day at Lance'sLock.com. Jump on board. Win with us. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or HempHillServices.com.
And our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. If you find yourself in need of an attorney for any reason, Alexander Shannara is the guy to go to. Birmingham born, Birmingham bred. He built his practice right here in Birmingham, and for 25 years, he's grown that practice to more than 150 attorneys and more than 500 dedicated team members, and he can work for you. They've recovered more than $2 billion for clients. That's billion with a B. $2 billion for clients. That's a ton. He's continuing, though. He is not slowing down one bit. Shannara.com is the website to go to when in need of an attorney. Shannara.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, a car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks. the #1 sports bar.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA-certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
We're not going to do it, but I mean, if our show just wanted, if it was entertaining enough, we would do it. But if our show just wanted to sit here and show you everybody from the Notre Dame athletic director to the Big 12 commissioner to talking heads talking about Notre Dame, we could do it. There's plenty of that. We're going to show you.
Do you feel like this is the most controversial team that has been left out? I guess because it is Notre Dame. I mean, you go back, what was it, TCU won by 55 and got dropped a spot on the final.
Was that TCU Baylor?
Yeah, but Baylor didn't get in either.
No, they didn't put either in, and that was the Big 12 trying to manipulate the system. They refused to declare a champion. And as I remember this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Baylor beat TCU head-to-head, I think, right, that year?
I think that was it. Yeah, it was a great game.
And that was why Art Briles, after that last game you're talking about, where they won by 55, the guy that was the Big 12 commissioner at the time, and I'm not going to remember his name, was at the game, and Briles apparently got into it with him because he was like, y'all are going to screw this up by not naming us champions. We've earned it. They didn't have a championship game, but Baylor beat TCU head-to-head, and they tried to do co-champions in hopes that they, I can't remember why they were doing co-champions. They were trying to manipulate the system.
No, I do remember that it was kind of a big deal, nothing to this magnitude, I guess because you're talking about TCU, Baylor, and Notre Dame.
Right. Even last year, leaving out, I think the biggest controversy was leaving out Florida State for Alabama because.
Yeah, I heard this morning somewhere where people were talking about every year, 2 years ago it was Florida State, last year it was Alabama. I don't remember that being a big deal.
I mean, I don't think Alabama had done enough last year.
I think Alabama fans were resigned to the fact on that Sunday selection show that maybe we'll have, this Hail Mary that'll get us in.
Yeah.
But after SMU, the way they played in the second half, I think everybody will just kind of, they were comfortable with the fact.
What about 2016? Penn State beat Ohio State, won the Big Ten.
But they had 2 losses.
They did, but they put an 11-1 Ohio State team who sat at home, didn't play in the Big Ten championship in the playoff, and then they lost 31-0.
No, I remember that pretty well. As we were back in the old Jack Studios, and that was a big deal.
I mean, I remember it being a big deal, but I also remember Penn State had 2 losses, and that was back in a 4-team system.
And that's when everybody did point out, because the very next year, Auburn was going to be the first 2-loss team if they would have beaten Georgia in the SEC championship game to get in. But that was kind of the blowback on that Penn State team, as they did have multiple losses, and no team with multiple losses up until that point had ever been put in.
Yeah, so it is controversial. But the group of 5 is the one that has the target on them. They're like, we're just doing our job. I don't know why we've got the target on us. Why is the target not on Miami or Alabama or whoever else? Why is it us? But this is who has gotten the blame for them not being in, is the group of 5. Joey McGuire, Texas Tech coach. They were easy in, Texas Tech. This guy has...
win or lose, they were getting in.
They were getting in either way. This guy has done a good job, Joey McGuire has, obviously, at Texas Tech to get them in this position. But he here talks about the group of 5 teams. That's what everybody's being asked about now. And I have not heard this. Scott has told me he's got some interesting ideas on how the group of 5 should be judged. So let's listen to Joe McGuire and see if this would fix the issue.
If you're a G5 school, I don't want to rule them out, but you almost have to be like, hey, you're going to have to play so many Power 4 teams and win them, or you're going to have to go undefeated, to be in, because you can't argue that Alabama shouldn't be in, or maybe OU shouldn't be in, or something like that. You've got to argue, those two, if you're going to put, a Notre Dame in, or a Texas or Vandy or BYU or any of those teams. And then I do think it's going to expand. I think it's good. I think we have to change the calendar to expand it, but I do think it's going to expand. But you also got to look at the criteria. Like, this is where you're going to get me in trouble. But, like, if you're in a conference, you're probably at 10-2. You're probably in a conference game, and you have another game to play in order to make a case of being in the playoffs. I love John Gruden, and Kalani actually said it too. I love John Gruden's deal. Everybody that's on the bubble or in the mix should play a 13th game, and then you wouldn't have had any questions about who wouldn't have got in. If you're going to play a conference championship game, then let's play play-in games also.
See, I kind of like that idea. Let's take the bubble. Let's do the Dayton style.
Yeah, this was brought up on the show a year ago. I don't remember who initially brought it up. We looked at it and we were like, it's not a terrible idea, but the more this thing is played out, it makes a lot more sense. Now, to McGuire's point on Group 5s, if they want to get in, they've got to play some Power 4 schools. How many Power 4 schools now, based on what you've already got to play in conference, want to play Tulane or James Madison or North Texas or Boise State?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to schedule those kind of teams?
No, I don't. I mean, but if you're looking at the bubble, let's just say the bubble is, let's say 10. All right, so 11 Notre Dame could play Vanderbilt. 12 BYU could play 13 Texas, and that's your final 2 spots, or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Or I guess you've got to mix in the group of 5 teams. So I guess Notre Dame would play.
There's a way to do this.
Yeah, I don't know how you do this.
And it might be 4 games, 8 teams where you figure that out. And I'm sure the 9th team that doesn't get to play in this is going to be pissed off. But once you start to get to the back end of 20 not getting in, hey, so be it. Like, I think it would be easier. Now, we said that about 12. Like, if you're on the cut line of 12 and 13, you really shouldn't have an argument if you are trying to get into a 12-team playoff. But it seems like Notre Dame really does.
Yeah, but you just hit on a point there. Like, who's lining up to schedule James Madison right
Nobody.
now?
Nobody.
And that's not their fault.
Yeah.
They're just doing what they're supposed to do is get good.
Like let's just say that if I am –
I'm going to see if I can find their
If I'm
future
Kalen
schedule.
DeBoer and I've got Notre Dame coming up on my schedule, well, as I'm going through this saying we're not going to play Notre Dame, and then I'm like, well, damn, in 2029 I got James Madison.
I'd rather play Notre Dame.
Yeah, we're not going to play James Madison.
But I'm not saying Notre Dame's easier to beat. I'm just saying if I lose to Notre Dame, I get a break on that. If I lose to James Madison.
It's over.
I mean, in a lot of ways. James Madison's futures, they're at Virginia Tech in 2026. Look for James Franklin to figure a way out of that game.
Yeah, I don't think Franklin – well, I mean, year 1 maybe. I don't know.
They're at Maryland in 27. They're at North Carolina in 28. And past that, they don't have any good teams. None. I mean, and I don't know if they continue to stay good. And that's the thing about this. They're one of those programs. They were good with Kirk Cignetti. They were good with Chesney, who's taken the UCLA job now. You're starting to think that no matter who coaches that team, it's a little bit like Memphis has become. They're going to be good no matter who coaches them.
Or Boise State. Yeah. From every coach that went through there, they all had a ton of success. And James Madison seems like it's built like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. That is one idea. One idea of Joey McGuire, who's safely in the field, talking about teams that aren't. It's always the coach that's safely in the field that has all the ideas for the bottom of the bracket, right?
He's got really good ideas, though.
I like that guy.
You go back to last week when what was the conversation that he was having? Like, Oh, he was talking about Lane Kiffin. Like, hey, Lane Kiffin, guys can leave and go to other schools, but, one of the rules needs to be none of their guys can go to that school.
Yeah.
And that's obvious. I think some of the things he's saying are very obvious.
Yeah, when he says you're going to get in trouble, no, those are the things we want you to say, the ones that get you in trouble. All right, sleephomealabama.com, our friends at CPAP Plus bringing you part of the show.
The O'Neill brothers, Joe and Woody, fantastic guys. I want to remind you need to get that proper sleep, 7-8 hours every single night. If you're not getting it, you need to be on a CPAP. If you are on a CPAP, listen up. Our friends at O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus, they're running their Show Your Score promotion right now. Just stop by one of their stores. Pelham, Trustful, Inverness on Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air Sleep Score. You're automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini Travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle runs through the 31st. You've got 3 more weeks. Don't miss it. Get all the details. O'NeillMed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
And our friend Greg Nelson. Now, you know him as Greg from Pell City, but if you've got some roof issues or if you think you might need a new roof, you need to know him as Greg up on the roof, and that's where he'll go for you. Get it ready for Santa. Santa's going to be up there. You don't want him falling through the roof, right? Greg has climbed up on many a roof and come down and said, hey, I've got good news for you. It's not as bad as you thought. You got some time left on this thing. He's not just going to throw a roof on there to make money, but he's also climbed up on roofs and said, all right, you got storm damage. I know how the insurance companies work. Let me handle this. Or just, hey, you may not have storm damage, but you do need a new roof. We talk about the storm damage all the time. If you just need a new roof and there's no storm damage, Greg's your guy, too. I'm going to give you his number, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531 for Greg Nelson. You know him as Greg from Pell City. That's where you find him on Facebook as well. Greg Nelson, Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. While we're on this, let's just knock all this out right now. Yesterday, Notre Dame Athletic Director Pete Bevacqua met the media. Cut 7 is where we'll start here, Tyler. He called a press conference to talk about being left out, and again, Notre Dame they're making the laps right now because they became kind of a sympathetic figure. Some of that might have ended yesterday.
Yeah, you don't call a press conference to whine, do you?
I know. When you're a sympathetic figure, sometimes it's best just to be a sympathetic figure. And yesterday they're like...
I mean, this is a multi-billionaire calling a press conference to say he didn't get invited to a Christmas party.
Sometimes when you're the sympathetic figure, just be the sympathetic figure. It's okay. And yesterday Notre Dame's like, no, we don't like being the sympathetic figure. We want everybody to hate us. So their athletic director, Pete Bevacqua, on being left out of the college football playoff.
No secret. We were shocked, I would say mystified by what happened on Sunday. And just, where my head and heart go, and I know Marcus feels the same way, you just feel for those student athletes on our football team. We felt we did everything we could over the course of the season. We lost our first 2 games. We're not hiding from that. We lost against a really good Miami team. We lost a nail-biter against Texas A&M, 2 great teams by a total of 4 points, and then we did everything we needed to do. We had one of the most dominant 10 games runs in the history of college football. And on top of that, we felt that the CFP committee, the ranking committee, felt the same way. You go back to that first ranking where we were 6-2 and Miami was 6-2, and they had already beaten us. And we were 10th and they were 18th. And the only thing that happened from that point forward is we both went on these amazing runs. Miami deserves to be in the CFP. Of course they do. And Alabama does as well. And you could make that argument for Texas and Vanderbilt. And you could go right on down the list. But, we were just led to believe all season long, if we took care of business, we were going to be in.
The transcript will be available at the end.
Yeah.
Somebody was working hard on that, court reporter.
Do we have any sound on Marcus Freeman? Because I've got a point.
I have not seen Marcus Freeman talk. Scott can answer that question. I don't know. Scott, has Marcus Freeman talked at all?
No, I'm talking about Pete talking about Marcus Freeman, his head coach, about his potentially leaving.
No, that was not in there, Scott. I don't think he addressed it, did he, Scott?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think that was about this.
He was asked about it at some point yesterday, and I don't know if it was...
Could have been an interview.
Yeah, it could have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's been making the rounds.
Yeah, he has not been hiding, that's for sure.
But basically, he said, hey, any NFL team that wants him, and, they're talking about the New York Giants because he's minus 200 now. He's a heavy favorite to take this job.
The New York Giants coach,
yeah. And they said, hey, we will match any offer. So as soon as we said Lane Kiffin was going to become the highest paid coach, the highest paid NFL coach right now is Andy Reid at $20 million. They are going to, I would assume the New York Giants are going to be prepared to pay around that number. Do you think Notre Dame would pay him $20 million?
So Bavakwa actually said that.
He said it. Yeah, I got a quote here.
Because if I'm Marcus Freeman's agent, boy, that got my attention right there.
Yeah. Athletic director Bavakwa suggested school ready to match any offer. Quote, I would never say we wouldn't match anything when it comes to Marcus. Everybody has eyes on Marcus. College has eyes on Marcus. NFL has eyes on Marcus. I bet Hollywood has eyes on Marcus.
He's a good-looking man. I'm not going to deny that. I don't know if he can act. Man, that's wild to think that he could be paid that much. I don't know. Like, if you're Notre Dame, I don't know what their financial situation is like. I got to imagine it's good. They just said screw a bowl game. We're not going to go take bowl money.
Is Marcus Freeman a Jimmy Sexton guy?
I do not know the answer to that. I'll see if I can find it.
It's borderline 50-50, right?
Yeah, it's probably higher than that, actually.
And Marcus Freeman doesn't seem like a guy that would want to use a lot of leverage in this situation where Notre Dame's program is, but I guarantee you Jimmy Sexton's like, they'll match anything.
Yeah.
This Andy Reid cat's making $20 million.
I heard Pete say that. All right, so I wondered when initially he was saying, he told Dan Patrick on the Dan Patrick show, the ACC has done irreparable harm to our relationship. And I was like, what did the ACC do? I was unaware of the social media campaign the ACC went on against Notre Dame. Basically.
Oh, I see. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they were firing out, here's Miami's resume, here's Notre Dame's. Miami's is obviously better. Notre Dame's like, I get that you got to go to bat, but why you torching us in the process? We're a partner of yours. So here is a deeper explanation from the Notre Dame athletics director on why he was so upset with the ACC.
But what we were really surprised by and disappointed was how the ACC conference really went on a social media campaign, in my opinion, attacking our football program. Miami had done that and they didn't. I get it. All's fair. There's a great rivalry, decades-long rivalry between Notre Dame and Miami. And that's the spirit of the universities and the football programs and fandom. And that's what makes college football special, whether it's Notre Dame, Miami, Notre Dame, USC, Michigan, Ohio State. But we felt this was different, and it raised a lot of eyebrows. And, we made our feelings known that we didn't particularly understand this. And it just kind of puzzled us that a conference that's home to over 600 of our student athletes walking around this campus today, I guess chose to go down that road. I guess intellectually I understand it, but I certainly don't agree with it. And why would you attack an unbelievably important business partner of yours in football and a member of your conference in 24 other sports? I'm one person. I don't see the logic in that. I know other leaders at the university didn't see the logic in that.
So that was where he was upset. And this was the post from the ACC, or at least one of them, that got upset. It was the old blind resume. Who you got? And shocker, Miami was the team that was the better of the two resumes. And then they reveal it's Miami. That's who you got.
Well, business partner, yeah, but I'm sure the ACC would love to. Okay, you're in our basketball conference, but you're too good to be on our football conference.
You've got one toe in our football conference, but you play 5 of our teams.
And look, this is in our best interest to get Miami in.
Yeah. So a lot of people had response to that, but one of the ones that was the most harsh, as Pete Bavakwa's words are still in your mind here, here's Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark, courtesy of the Sports Business Journal, in some sort of forum last night where he's asked about it. And this is a sitting conference commissioner who says this about what Pete Bavakwa just said.
I will say this, and I'm a little outspoken about it. I don't like how Notre Dame's reacted to it.
So
Pete I think Pete's his behavior has been egregious. It's been egregious going after Jim Phillips when they saved Notre Dame during COVID. We all knew, and it was very transparent. Hunter was very transparent about it, the chair, that as Notre Dame and Miami got closer together, head-to-head would be a factor, okay? BYU lost. They became closer together, head-to-head made a difference in that decision. So I think he is totally out of bounds in his approach, and if he was in the room, I'd tell him the same thing.
I mean, I like that.
That's strong words.
Yeah,
though.
very direct. But, we do forget about that. Notre Dame was on an island in 2020.
Yep.
You remember, Big Ten came out. We're not going to play football. Thank God for Greg Sankey because we were playing football. ACC gets on board.
But everybody was playing only conference games. There was nobody that was doing out of conference.
And that was, and that's what's so annoying about this die on the hill. We're not going to join a conference. Well, in 2020, they had to.
Yeah, you needed one badly, and you joined it. Oh, by the way, you were good at it.
Yeah, you won it.
You won it. Yeah, you were good at it. And I was those are some very strong words from Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12. So the war of words continues in college football between Notre Dame and pretty much everybody else. Now,
how does it continue real quick? If Miami wins, is it less of an argument?
I don't know.
Because normally once the games start, all of this other stuff kind of goes away, but it doesn't seem like Notre Dame's going to let it lie.
Yeah, I guess if Miami wins, a team that beat you won and a team that beat you lost. So it doesn't really change your argument anyway. I don't know. I don't think that changes anything. It's still Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's still going to rattle the saber. Now, I did see that in that press conference, he was asked if any conference commissioners had reached out to you. He said one had. Did you see this? Found this interesting. Notre Dame athletic director, have any conference commissioners reached out to you? He said, yeah, I've talked to one.
Did he identify?
He did. Who do you think it was?
Greg Sankey.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, why would you not?
I don't know that I read anything into that either way, but that was the one he identified.
I mean, it seems inevitable at this point. You take us back to 2011. I remember we were doing a show when, the news came out about A&M and Missouri, and then 2021, a decade later, the news comes out about Texas and Oklahoma.
And right as we're starting this show, we were in at the Galleria.
So I think it's very inevitable that we are going to get to these super conferences. Why would you not want Notre Dame to be part of your super conference?
Yeah. So
Can you imagine a TV deal with Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama, Georgia?
It'd be fun. There's no doubt it would be fun. There's been another cancellation of college football games. People are saying we're going to see more and more of this. I don't know, but Brett McMurphy saying that Georgia and Louisville have both canceled. They've mutually agreed to cancel. They're home and home in 26 and 27. They're going to try to schedule a neutral site game on a later date. Georgia and NC State cancel their home and home in 33 and 34. So all these games that we've talked about all these years are starting to get canceled as you're expanding to 9 conference games. I guess that was the ultimate. And that was going to be the ultimate victim of this.
I don't know where fan bases are. I think the only one that we ever kind of got excited about, we were going to go to Camp Randall to watch Alabama, Wisconsin.
We did
a couple
not do
years
that.
ago. We never did it.
Did not do that.
I think there are a lot of fans that are like, damn, I really want to go see this campus or that campus. But then when you start to look at the magnitude of what it can do to your season if you're to lose one of these games now, I've said it a million times. I don't know why you would schedule.
Here's the problem that it leaves is Georgia in 26. Here's their out of conference now. They're going to have a 9-game conference schedule, so I'm assuming this is the schedule they're moving forward with, Lance. Out of conference, Tennessee State, Western Kentucky, Georgia Tech. That's yuck.
Ugh.
Tennessee State and Western Kentucky the first 2 weeks, get in conference play, finish with Georgia Tech. Yuck. In 27, and we had brought this up, they had a challenging schedule because in 27 they still had North Carolina State on there, so they were going to play Florida State, NC State, and Georgia Tech. Now they're only at Florida State and at Georgia Tech. I mean, you'll throw one more nothing game in there, and that's actually a pretty good out of conference.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Still. And you're playing 2 of them on the road.
Yeah, and we don't know how good they're going to be at that.
That's right. You absolutely don't. All right, tonight, you and I know where we'll be at Odie's, and it's always a Wednesday night tradition there at Odie's.
Yeah, Odie's Tavern every Wednesday night, the original location in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood, which we will be at on December 17th with our friends, Company Distilling. We'll give you more information on that coming up later in the show, but if you're just looking for a great meal from Rodney Davis, you can get it right now. Either one of those locations. He's been doing it for 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Come join us tonight as well. 8 o'clock, Odie's Team Trivia. It's a Birmingham institution, Odie's Tavern.
And the viewing menu today presented by Michelson Laser Vision. Tyler, what do you have on the viewing menu tonight?
All right, tonight we've got a re-release in theaters just for IMAX. It's Rolling Stones at the Max. This is a feature-length concert film featuring the Rolling Stones in top form during their highly acclaimed Steel Wheels / Urban Jungle 1990 tour. It's shot on location in Berlin, London, and Turin, and it's a 15-song performance featuring Satisfaction, Ruby Tuesday, Brown Sugar, as well as songs like Start Me Up. So if you're a big Stones fan, then that might be the best way to experience a Stones concert these days.
Yeah, watch Give Me Shelter first. I don't know if you've ever seen that documentary with the Stones.
I have not.
Is it about the woman that sang the part?
Part of it.
Yeah. That's a pretty big story in that, yeah. By the way, did you see Steel Wheels? Was that the one that was at Legion Field?
I did see Steel Wheels. That was 1989.
Was it at Legion Field, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And Living Color opened up for them.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Boy, I liked Living Color.
Cult of Personality.
Yeah, did you like that?
Yeah.
That was a good late 80s, early 90s band, yeah.
Next up, we've got a new Netflix competition series, Simon Cowell, The Next Act. Simon Cowell is looking for the next hit boy band, and he's risking it all to find them. Will these young singers prove he's still got the Midas touch? And that's on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
Yeah, I'm passing as well.
Yeah, it's wild how his career took off from that one show, though.
Yes.
From American Idol. I mean, that guy has made billions because of that.
And then next up, Disney Plus has The Muppets Christmas Carol on its catalog.
Always liked it.
It's a great one, and I think it's the best adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Somebody asked me that question. Believe it or not, I was asked that question recently because that has been done a lot. What is the best adaptation? I was like, as a kid, I liked the Mickey Mouse one. I mean, a little kid, obviously. A Mickey Mouse one and the Muppets one. I like both those.
So I real quick, I started this, but I didn't finish it. I'll get to it at some point. It's called Blood and Gold. It's a German film, and it's on Netflix. And if you like revenge films, the way it starts out is they find this deserter, they're chasing him, and it's a group of, Nazi, and they are like, they've gone pretty much berserk, but they go to hang the guy gets out of it, whatever, and it's a revenge movie. It's all subtitled, but it looks, first couple of scenes, really, really good.
And the name is what?
Blood and Gold.
Do you believe that Hitler escaped Berlin and died in South America?
I don't know if he in particular escaped, but there's definitely a lot of evidence for some of the higher-ranking members of the party getting out to Argentina. And then,
we never saw body, right?
I don't know. I thought they found. No, I don't think they did find the body
because he was in the bunker, right?
Did they?
He was in the bunker with Ava Braun.
Ava Braun. I mean, they committed suicide, but I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, if they found the body, well, I mean, the argument would be it's a fake body, right? That would be the argument.
That's the argument. But there is some documentaries that have come out in recent years exploring some of these communities in Argentina, and it is absolutely bizarre. It's in the middle of the jungle, and everybody there is blonde hair, blue-eyed, speaks German.
It's not by accident, right?
No.
That didn't just randomly happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is so. They've investigated that.
Yep, it's been investigated by a few different filmmakers.
I will tell you, in 7th grade, we had a kid transfer in from Argentina, and blonde hair, blue eyes.
Did he ever do that?
How do you think you got the money to come
pretty
over?
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So seriously, that was at Homewood?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And then finally on tonight's viewing menu, 7 p.m. on AMC, another one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, Christmas Vacation. And then immediately following that is Scrooged.
Oh, I like
Scrooged. A lot of people like that as a Christmas Carol.
Another adaptation of the Christmas Carol, which I said that's probably of the non-animated or whatever. That's my favorite adaptation of it. I love Scrooge.
I went back and watched it a couple of years ago, and it didn't hold up as well as I thought it would.
Bobcat Goldthwait, I love him on there. I mean, he is wound up, isn't he?
He is wound up.
He's got a shotgun and some liquor, and he's ready to go. All right, that's the viewing menu presented each day by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, make the phone call. How about the gift of sight this holiday season? Someone you're close to, they've been wearing the contacts or the glasses. They're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I did it for about a decade. Finally got the procedure done over 20 years ago in 2003. Still have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. 205-969-8100. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make sure you tell Amy when you ask for it, 205-969-8100. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
When we return, the future for Alabama and Auburn at quarterback next season. We'll tie those two together and ask you, what do you think signal color looks like in Tuscaloosa And for Alex Golesh in his first year, that is all next on the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We start a new hour of the next round. If you missed the first live hour, Nate Oats started the show with us about 5 minutes in. You can go catch that on demand. Everything we do, always on demand. Wherever you get your podcast, make sure you set your automatic downloads. We greatly appreciate you doing that. Set those automatic downloads and make sure you follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube and set your alerts so you know when we're live on YouTube. We appreciate that. And you guys are blowing up our social media. Thank you for doing that. Please share on social media. That helps us a ton too, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or X or TikTok, wherever you see our content. If you could share it, That helps us a ton. You guys are so kind to help us. We greatly appreciate that. We're nothing without you guys, so we appreciate your kindness. And that is one way you can help us a ton, is just by sharing our content on social media. That simple step is a lot for us. When we go to this hour, we're going to talk some quarterbacks here in our state, Alabama and Auburn, and what is the future of quarterback at Alabama and Auburn. The reason I bring this up is because Field Yates, who is a respected draft analyst for ESPN, has put out his I think it's his third mock first round. Did you look at it this morning?
I have not seen
good.
Field Yates'
I was
mock
hopeful you
draft.
didn't.
Is Ty Simpson still?
I was hopeful you had not.
Yeah.
Field Yates, I will tell you this. He says that the first pick, he projects a trade, that the Jets will trade with the Giants in city there to get up to the first pick to take Fernando Mendoza. I mean, the Jets have to have a quarterback. There's no doubt about that.
And I told you I saw yesterday Pro Football Focus had the Rams, who have Forster's, if it can't get any worse for the Falcons, Rams have got the Falcons' first-round pick, which is going to be a top 10 pick.
You'll like who Field Yates had you taking.
Yeah, and they've got them trading up. But, I mean, I think
Field Yates had you taking Caleb Downs there. I think you'd like that.
Oh,
pick.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that believe now that Mendoza, if quarterback is selected at 1, which it normally is 99% of the time, it is going to be Mendoza. You heard Joel Klatt saying, I don't know how any other guy could go number 1 right now.
Yeah. Field Yates, this is going to look weird, and this is going to be the way it is for Alabama in all likelihood, whether Field Yates is correct or not. You don't see a ton of Alabama players in the first round. There was a time where you got used to seeing 4 or 5. Yep. You don't in Field Yates' first round. Keldrick Falk is the first state player off the board, 12th to Miami. Probably didn't have the year a lot of people thought he would. Like Xavier Atkins and Crawford felt like bigger stars in that defense.
Yeah. The bigger wow plays, the bigger numbers.
Yeah. But still, he's got the measurables the NFL is going to love. And Miami, always needs a pass rusher. 27th, Caden Proctor to Cleveland. That is the first Alabama player off the board for Field Yates. That is going to look weird.
He's a polarizing guy. There's a lot of people that believe he has got so much upside still when you look at how physical he is, but there's a lot of people that think he is going to be a bust.
And pick 31, Field Yates has the LA Rams selecting Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
I can't say I would get excited.
I mean, it's the 30. Well, first of all, it'd be your second first-round pick, so it's not even your number 1 overall pick. But secondly, I mean, it's a late first-round pick, and, I mean, at some point you've got to address quarterback.
Look, I mean, Ty has made some incredible throws. You go back to Missouri game, some of the throws he made down the stretch. You go to the Georgia game. I mean, overall, Ty has been really, really good this year, but he just seems like he's regressed. I mean, and I think there's a lot of
there could be reasons beyond just,
injuries.
Right.
I mean, there's some conversations with different receivers, and I don't know
offense,
exactly what it is, but I mean, when you watch it, it just looks different.
His offensive line hasn't exactly given him a ton of protection. I mean, you'd grant me that.
Well, over the last month, I mean, the guy's been sacked 10 times in the last 4 games. I mean, if you take Eastern Illinois out of the fact, he's getting sacked over 3 times a game over his last 3 games.
Yeah. Brugler, Dane Brugler, according to, who said this? It's moving so fast right now. Here it is. Daniel Brugler's latest mock had Ty mid-first round to the Steelers, another team that obviously has to draft quarterback.
Well, look, I mean, Ty's going to do his due diligence, I'm sure, and he's got, I mean, we've always talked about options are the best thing to have. I mean, he can come back, make 7 figures playing college football, or he can go to the NFL. I don't think he's going to come out unless he really believes he is a first-round guy. But, I mean, are you seeing anybody dropping him below 32?
I haven't. Now, I don't look at every mock draft. It's not something I follow closely. But the ones I've paid attention to, I think Kuiper recently had him in the top 30 in the first round. Field Yates does, albeit very late, 31. I mean, you're rolling the dice if that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, the good news.
Brugler's got him mid-first round.
I mean, the good news for Ty Simpson is this is a weak quarterback draft.
Yeah. So if you had to put your hard-earned American dollars on the table for this, do you think Ty Simpson's taking snaps in the NFL next year in Tuscaloosa?
Really difficult.
It's tough, isn't it?
I am going to lean. I think a lot of this depends on how he plays in the college football playoff. If he goes up against the best defense, or at least the best defense in the SEC, one of the top 2-3 defenses in college football on the road, and he was to play well, and they went against Oklahoma, and then he was to go to the Rose Bowl and play well, and they went against that Indiana defense, I think he comes out. I think if he goes to Norman, this is a cop-out, but if he goes to Norman.
I've got to circle back on this.
Yeah, he turns it over a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come back. I think a lot hinges on this postseason. I really do.
So let me just give you some reaction from the chat room here, okay? You ready for this?
I know what it's going to be.
Samuel, I hope Ty doesn't stay. Not that I don't think he can be great. I just don't want to risk Russell leaving.
That's the thing. I think the 75% of Alabama fans, you haven't seen Russell at this level. You've seen Ty. I think Ty can only get better. I'm not going to go Joe Burrow on you. But Burrow, the year before, so 2018, his junior year, wasn't as good as Ty has been in this year.
Rusty, need Ty to go. Don't want to lose Russell. You thought this was going to be the reaction, right?
Oh, yeah. Just like last year, there was, the thought that Jalen Milroe might come back, and he ultimately goes. He knows he's not going to be a first-round guy, gets drafted by Seattle.
Yeah.
But the majority of Alabama fans, almost all of them, wanted Milroe gone.
B. Tread, my fear is losing Russell. David, don't want Ty in Tuscaloosa next year. I mean, boy, mid-season, this was not the reaction to Ty Simpson. The month of November, I think a lot of Alabama fans. Did you ever think they would move away from him Saturday night? Did that ever cross your mind?
No.
I had people texting me. I saw a lot of social media saying, hey, let's let Austin Mack take a few snaps here. If Ty's hurt, whatever.
I had somebody next to me at the game, as I point over here, that was bringing Russell up a lot, but I never thought – I don't think it mattered who you had in against that Georgia defense. I don't think that offense was getting back together.
Yeah. It never occurred to me that they would go Austin Mack. I jokingly pointed out to the person sitting I was joking with Dunaway, and then somebody heard me and thought I was being serious that was sitting behind us in the press box. Mack, during lengthy timeouts, Mack comes out and throws with Simpson. And I'm like, ooh, look, they're warming up Austin Mack. And I was saying it jokingly. Simpson was on the other end, throwing it back to the receiver that was catching for Mack. And somebody's like, oh, will they go to him? I was like, I was just kidding. He's got Ty Simpson out there, too. But
I do think players are a lot more insulated than the coaches. I think the coaches act like they don't listen to certain talk shows and things like that. I think they do, look at social media, and they're kind of aware of conversations going on. Players, not as much. But this is something Ty is going to hear about, that Alabama fans want him gone. And I think if it looks like he's going to be a first-round guy, I don't think he comes back. But I think if he really struggles in Norman, I think the grading is going the wrong direction for Ty. There was a point where I saw Ty was the number 1 overall pick a month and a half ago.
Yeah. But now, keep in mind, for some people, Rex Ryan, Jalen Milroe was at one point last year, too. So
I think that was after one game.
It was after one game. All right, so I want to read. This is an interesting thought from someone in the chat room I want to read to you. First of all, walk-ons. Great place to go to watch all the games. When I go to walk-ons, I get in ruts at restaurants because I eat something that I like and I continue to go there. Those shrimp tacos.
You know what's become my go-to?
The Boom Boom shrimp tacos are fantastic.
So their sliders, like their burgers are massive, but I like the sliders a little bit more for whatever reason. But their sirloin sliders, and I know you're a fan too.
Fantastic.
They've got those caramelized
ribeye sliders.
Ribeye slider?
Yeah, the ribeye slider with the aioli and the caramelized onion. And I actually go, instead of the waffle fry, I'll get a side of the loaded mashed potatoes.
Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
I got a buddy every Saturday. He'll text me something about the Bama game. He's a big Bama fan. And I was like, what are you doing? Heading to walk-ons. Goes and watches them every week at walk-ons. You can do the same right there. Stadium Trace, Tattersall Park, up in Trussville as well. Great locations of walk-ons throughout Birmingham and Central Alabama. Go enjoy our friends at Walk-On Sports Bistro. And also Inverness Country Club. Hey, guess what? I'm headed out there later today.
Are you actually playing? I guess it is going to be like in the high 50s.
Almost. We're going to get close enough to 60 that I'm playing today.
Knocking on 60. So Brown will be out there taking advantage of that great course. If you've been thinking about this, like you want to pull the trigger, you want to get that country club membership, you're not sure the wife is going to get on board with it, she will when you explain that they've got memberships that fit everyone. She can enjoy the social, including that resort-style pool coming up this summer, pickleball, golf, a great place to just have dinner with friends. And while you're having dinner with friends, guess what? childcare right there on site. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. Take a tour of the club today. Call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Huge mistake in the chat room. I was saying they should have started Mack or Russell over Ty in the SEC championship game because Ty could use the extra time to heal. It would have been an interesting strategy. I mean, I don't think you ever want to go to an SEC championship game and give the message to your team you're forfeiting the game. But you would have, I mean, they're in the playoffs either way. But
I don't know how you go to Ty and like his opportunity to start his first ever SEC championship game. A better than great shot. He'll never play in another one of these SEC championship games.
Yeah.
He's earned that right, and I think
that's right.
You're also trying to give your guys the best opportunity. If you really wanted rest, you win that game against Georgia, and you're getting extended rest.
You would have had to be very aggressive in your messaging to the committee that, hey, he's just got a back injury. We think in 10 days rest, he's fine.
Yeah.
Don't leave us out because our quarterback hasn't started. He's fine.
Yeah, and seeing that, it could backfire. Like Alabama, I don't think the outcome would have been any different if Mack or Russell is playing. And then the committee could say, we're really just not sure. Like, we're going to leave Alabama out because their quarterback couldn't even start in an SEC championship
We know
game.
Beck and Carr are healthy, so Notre Dame and Miami are in.
Yeah, way too dangerous in my opinion.
I agree. So that's Alabama. So, well, I guess if you were to set the plus or minus odds in Vegas on Ty Simpson as Alabama's quarterback, what odds would you set next year? Alabama's quarterback next year, Ty Simpson.
Oh, I would that he's going to the NFL like minus 300, so plus 180.
Plus 180 so you would put the favorite on going to the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, based on where he is still in these projections and these mocks, and he didn't play bad. I know there was a pick 6 against Oklahoma, but he didn't play bad overall against that really, really good defense. If he really struggles, then I think there's a possibility he comes back. But again, I don't think it helps it. A lot of people, like if he looks anywhere on social media, hey, good luck in the NFL, good luck.
Yeah.
Russell's our guy. I think that could play into it. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things in front of that. I wonder how much Alabama wants him back. I'm sure they do.
When you say Alabama, you mean like Kalen DeBoer,
Ryan
Grubb,
Nick Sheridan, those guys. Yeah. Like, are we willing to? Like, I don't know what Ty made in NIL money this year. Let's say made $750,000. That's probably a fair number. Like, in order to get him back, you're going to have to pay him in the realm of $2 million.
Yeah. I mean, it's a guy that's bypassing the first round.
Yeah,
to come back.
So do you want to give up, two more quality guys that you could pay on that roster? Or do you want to give that money to Ty? I don't know where they are. I would say, hey, you kind of know what you've got. I think Ty would be better next year. Obviously more weathered and experienced, but I don't know where everybody is on this, because I think last year, Kalen DeBoer, from what I heard, was going to be somewhat loyal to Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
And I think you would have had some people that wouldn't have been happy with that. And I think internally you would have had some players that would have left. I seriously doubt that's the same feeling with Ty, but I don't know.
Then there's Auburn. Over the weekend, obviously, we discussed this earlier this week. Jackson Arnold hit the portal. So he's leaving. That frees up some money that you can use at quarterback. They overpaid Jackson Arnold, so you got money there. There are multiple reports. I think Justin Hokanson was the first to report this. I think Hoke first reported that there has been a massive commitment in NIL money to Auburn, that Alex Golesh is going to have somewhat of a war chest to build a roster. By the way, Alex Golesh, the new Auburn coach, on the show Friday at 9:30. So if you want to see that live, of course, it will be podcasted and on demand everywhere. But Alex Golesh with us Friday at 9:30. So perhaps this will come up in our discussion with Coach Golesh. There'll be a lot we need to get to in that. But he's going to be with us live 9:30 on Friday. There's a committed war chest, so to speak, to Auburn, that they'll have the NIL funds that they need. So I think the question for Auburn fans, did you see enough of Deuce Knight? It was a massively inferior opponent, but a lot of people were excited about what he did against Mercer. Did you see enough in that game where you're like, that's our guy moving forward, we're cool? You saved Ashton Daniels another year so he can still be on the roster. Or do you want to go portaling if you're Auburn? You can do both, by the way. You can have Deuce Knight and go portaling. I mean, that's not illegal, obviously. Where do you think Auburn fans are on this?
Well, Golesh is, it's going to be 100% his decision. Sure. I don't know where Auburn fans are. I did talk to an Auburn fan last week that was like, I'd love to see Ashton come back and be given an opportunity. Now, I will say this. I did not this is not the Ashton Daniels you saw at Stanford. He was much better. Now, he didn't win. Not necessarily his fault. I mean, they lose in overtime to Vanderbilt. They lose a one-possession game to Alabama, but I thought he played exceptionally well against Vanderbilt.
They're terrific against Vandy.
I thought he played good enough with his legs against Alabama.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, he had a lot of drops.
A lot of drops.
I don't think I pinned that one on Ashton Daniels.
I mean, he was 18 of 39 against Alabama. Probably should have been like 23 of 39.
Yeah, he did have the interception. That was a costly interception there to Bree Hubbard.
Yeah, look, I don't think he's going to be the ultimate answer for Alex Golesh. For Alex Golesh, I think it is really one of two things. Byron Brown, coming out of the portal from South Florida, a guy that he's obviously very familiar with. He's coached him in the last few years, and a guy that was a 3,000-yard passer, a 1,000-yard receiver, or 1,000-yard rusher. You either bring him in or you go Deuce Knight, because it is year one, so it's going to be somewhat forgiving. So if you have some hiccups with Deuce in his first full year as a starting quarterback, Alex Golesh can build upon that. But it's going to be his decision 100%. So I think it's one of those two.
Yeah. The CBS Sports, and the reason I bring this up, CBS Sports had Chris Hummer writes this for CBS Sports. If all these guys get on the quarterback carousel, and some already are, but if all of them get on, who would you want at some of these major schools that will need it? And I would ask it looking through the lens of Auburn. We'll do that in a second. First, Woodhouse Day Spa. With Christmas coming up, that's a great Christmas gift idea, is Woodhouse.
Yeah, look, it is the gift of relaxation. Whoever needs it in your family. Look, a gift card is such a simple solution. As guys, we like to procrastinate. A good majority of you guys, including me, I'm still like shopping right now. I always wait till the last minute. But Stuart and our friends at the Woodhouse Day Spa, they can help out. You can stop into that beautiful location right there at the Summit Shopping Centers, pick up accessories, gift cards right there, or you can order 24/7 online at birmingham.woodhousespas.com. The gift of luxury this holiday season. Choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, order online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
One thing you need to pay close attention to is your urological health, and you get the best care and the urological tract with our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Everything from vasectomies to kidney stones to just your entire urological health picture. UCA takes care of that. 205-930-0920. That's the number to call. 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com is the website. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 205-930-0920. UCA Urology Centers of Alabama. As we talk about quarterbacks going in the portal, as we do what I'm about to do here, two caveats. Number one, some of these guys have not even indicated they'll go in the portal. This is a CBS Sports article saying this, that if they did, how attractive would they be? Number two, keep in mind the portal doesn't open until January 2nd. So if guys haven't declared their intentions, they've still got plenty of time. It's a 15-day window, if I'm not mistaken, starting January 2nd, but it doesn't open until then. They can announce it now that they're entering the portal, but technically they can't sign anywhere until after January 2. So there's still some time if some of these guys haven't made the announcement. Some have. The very first name mentioned, and I'm we talk about other programs. I've kind of looked at this at Auburn, though. Lenora Sellers, South Carolina. I think there would be a lot of takers on Lenora Sellers, would there not?
I still think there's going to be a lot of takers in the NFL.
Oh, it's more likely.
I think based on upside, you've seen more sellers, and I'll go back to this comparison, than you saw with Anthony Richardson. You just saw a lot more of a sample size. I think there's more ceiling than you ever had with Anthony Richardson. He went 4th overall to the Colts. Now, that wasn't a good selection by the Colts. They got bit. Teams will continue to get bitten each and every year on quarterbacks, overreaching for quarterbacks. But Lenora Sellers, when he's on, he looks like a franchise quarterback. There's so much upside there. I would find it hard to believe that he would come back. But if he would, there's going to be a massive market for Lenora Sellers.
I'll just read what Chris Hummer writes at CBS Sports. Nothing has been decided about his future, but he could be the biggest splash of the transfer quarterback cycle if he were to leave South Carolina. They ponied up to keep him in the fold, and they'll have to pony up more to keep him in the fold next year. So, now, listen, Shane Beamer was asked about it already after the Texas A&M game, I believe it was, maybe, and called the reports garbage that he was getting in the portal. So Beamer believes he can keep him, obviously, but
look, and you don't know. I mean, he is from South Carolina, so he is a state guy, and he might love that program more than he wants to go somewhere else and make more money. But if I'm Lenora Sellers, Like, what are you getting me, Shane Beamer? Like, you got me Mike Shula last year.
Well, they've hired, I can't say his name now. Kendall Briles. That's who South Carolina has hired, is Kendall Briles. Does that excite you if you're Lenore Sellers?
I don't know. There was a time where Kendall Briles was very, very hot name. I mean, it's definitely an upgrade from what you get with Mike Shula.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to not be.
But, I don't know. Like, if you're Sellers, I would say that Sellers is a massive favorite to still go to the NFL, in my opinion.
Sam Levitt, Arizona State. He's already in the portal. Kenny Dillingham wished him the best publicly. So he's gone from Arizona State. What kind of value does Sam Levitt have?
Man, you go back to less than a calendar year ago and, this is a guy that was making big-time NFL throws against that Texas defense. He just wasn't healthy this year. His best receiver, Jordan Tyson, although he didn't play in that Texas game, he wasn't fully healthy week in, week out. I think Sam Levitt's a big-time talent. Again, I would be a little concerned with the inconsistency of how good he was last year to, how, I don't want to say average, but did take a step back this year. But Sam Levitt is going to be a really, really good wanted quarterback in the portal.
This is another one that has not entered the portal.
He's one of those guys I would consider an A guy in the portal.
Yeah. This is a guy that has not entered the portal, but there appears to be speculation around him that he is considering it, as Dylan Raiola at Nebraska. He was hurt at the end of the year.
I don't know.
I feel like
I did think he played a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think he was bad last year.
His dad was the offensive line coach and got fired.
And that's one reason I think people are starting to talk more about this.
And his brother decommitted from there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a senior in high school.
Well, a lot of signs there, huh?
And his dad was really the reason he signed at Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, he's a legacy guy at Nebraska. His dad, Dominic, played there.
Yeah, I'm just, what is the market right now for Raiola? I mean, again, we saw him midway through the season, gets hurt against USC. I think they actually beat USC if he doesn't get hurt in that game. And, maybe the season goes a different direction. But he's got size and he's got a big arm. And, coming out of high school, everybody wanted him. So there'll be a market for Raiola. I would say that he is close to an A guy in the portal, probably more of a B.
Michigan State's Aiden Childs?
Way too inconsistent.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
NC State C.J. Bailey?
C.J. Bailey is kind of a Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
Very explosive, ton of upside.
He's a Miami native, by the way. I mean,
hey, look for Miami to be in the mix.
They're going to need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Brendan Sorsby, Cincinnati.
Oh, I like Sorsby.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as I say this year's Sorsby is going to be Rocco Beck from 2024, and then Sorsby won't play like he played this year. But I thought he was gritty and can do a lot with his legs and really, really solid college quarterback.
Drew Mestamaker, North Texas. Many think if he does hit the portal, he's going with his coach, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, he's going to Oklahoma State.
And then Byron Brown gets mentioned here. And as Chris Hummer says, he's the guy to keep an eye on in this upcoming cycle. He's listed as a senior. There's a chance he can get another year, a good chance, he says. I didn't even know that was an issue.
Well, for
Byron Brown.
Yeah, well, he's played 4 years, but it was so abbreviated his first year. Now that they're giving this fifth year to a lot of different guys, I know we're getting away from the COVID window, but I would be more surprised if he wasn't given a fifth year. Alex Golesh, like if you're Byron Brown and you're going to transfer out, you're going to go to your former coach. You know the system well.
Right.
You get to play in the SEC. You're going to make millions of dollars. So, again, I think it comes back to Golesh. Does he want Brown? If he wants Brown, I think he can probably get him into the portal and get him from South Florida. Now, is he told, hey, man, your skill set is the NFL. You've already shown enough. You can come out. You might be back half of the first round, which I don't think he would be. I don't think he gets drafted in the first 3 rounds. So I think his play is trying to follow Golesh. I think that's the safer play for Auburn. You will lose Deuce Knight. But it comes down to the evaluation, and this is why you pay a ton of money to Alex Golesh to be able to evaluate that position on limited reps for Deuce Knight. And that would have been one of the good things about a bowl practice, that you get to actually see him up close and personal.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You've got one game film on him, one game of film, and that's the evaluation you're going to be able to do on Deuce Knight. And if you bring Byron Brown in, the best case scenario is you get him for 1 year. That's the only. It's really the only scenario. It's not just the best case.
It's the only scenario.
Yeah.
But, I'm starting to believe more than unless the deck is completely stacked against you, I think you play for the now. I mean, if I'm an Auburn fan, do I expect to be in the college football playoff next year? Not necessarily. But, I mean, I should at least have that hope. I mean, again, first-year coaches are doing it now.
Hey, before we go to break, I got a story that I found amazing, and it's from the source, by the way. Could not be a better source, but I'm going to tell you about who redid the master bath in the Brown home, and it is a guy that is named Brad Bell. Brad does tremendous work. My wife, Jennifer, scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. When we wanted to redo our master bath, Brad Bell was the guy that she kept coming back to time and time again, and I'm glad she did. Brad did tremendous work for us, and he can do the same for you. I'm going to tell you what he specializes in. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That is not to say it's all he does. It's just to say that is his specialty. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. The reason that's important, you spend a lot of time in those areas when you own your home. When you go to sell your home, you can make some of your money back. You can see more before and afters in addition to what Scott's showing you from my bathroom. If you just simply go online to alabamabathremodels.com, alabamabathremodels.com. It is Brad Bell, or give Brad a call, 205-422-1758, 205-422-1758, or alabamabathremodels.com. It's Brad Bell. Do you remember Quentin Jammer played in the league for quite a while with the Chargers?
Yeah, Quentin Jammer was a former Texas Longhorn.
Defensive back. Mm-hmm. He says himself, he's like, I'm getting vulnerable for mental health, right? He's like, a lot of people internalize a lot of stuff. I'm just an open book now. That in 2011, he played 8 games in which he described himself as completely drunk. Like messy drunk. 8 games.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, I cannot imagine doing that. As a defensive back in the NFL?
That doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't, and I don't know that there's any benefit. He was a really good player. He played 12 years in the league.
Yeah. I thought you were going to bring up something with the connection of Phillip Rivers signing with the Colts.
Yeah, the Quentin Jammer's coming back.
Yeah, that they played together, and there was going to be something there. Golf, you can do it. Bowling, you can do it. And I'm not saying up to the level you need to, but you've seen
completely drunk.
But you have seen some guys that are actually better swinging the club.
Almost anybody's got a beer window that drinks on the course. That when they get in the beer window, they're their best.
Yeah, I've talked to baseball guys that have done it with bad hangovers.
I can't imagine playing DB. It's so hard in the NFL.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't see how that's even possible. And I don't see how, you wouldn't smell him in the huddle sweating it out or something.
Yeah, 2011, he said he played 8 games completely drunk. 8. Found that pretty wild. By the way, on the Phillip Rivers.
Do we have, how he played?
I'd have to go. I don't know if he named the games.
Pro Football Focus go back and they graded out each of those 8 performances? Yes, somebody's going to do it now, right? Because you're going to find out what those 8 games were.
Yeah. It's half the schedule in 2011. He was drunk, so I guess you can look at. Huh? I thought Brooks.
I'm reading an article that says 2011 was the first season since his rookie season he did not have an interception.
There you go. Well, he couldn't see the ball, or he saw 3 of them.
Being drunk did not help.
Yeah, you can, maybe you get away with this one game and you play awfully, and then you get it together. But half a season?
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe, but why would he lie about it?
Yeah.
That's not something you want to lie about, right?
Yeah, Quentin Hammer, not Quentin Jammer. By the way, you mentioned Phillip Rivers. I assume this is true. I saw a report last night that he's been running the Colts offense, a variation of the Colts offense with his high school team, St. Michael's.
Easy transition.
And no, but he says that he has been talking almost on a weekly basis with Shane Steichen, the Colts coach.
There's got to be something there, right?
Yeah, so he has stayed in touch with Steichen, and that he and Steichen talk on a weekly basis.
Oh, well, and that's probably how, and we'll get more as this thing plays out, and eventually if he comes off the practice squad and plays in actually meaningful games for the Colts down this stretch. But I would assume that we'll get the conversation. We started talking, I threw it out there jokingly, or Steichen threw it out there jokingly, and they decided to explore it.
He says they have been talking frequently, so we'll see.
I can only hope that he plays in meaningful games.
He's on practice. He's signed to the practice squad today. That's going to be the first step for anybody, though, is signed to the practice squad.
But you don't sign him unless he is going to be a factor, whether you need a viable backup or if he's actually going to come in and play because you think he's ultimately a better option than Riley Leonard. But you wouldn't have signed him unless you think something's there, right?
I wouldn't think so. I brought up the point yesterday, look, he's just going to be a backup. And you're like, he doesn't come out of retirement to be a backup.
I don't think he does.
I had never really considered that he was 100% coming in just to start. I thought maybe he provides depth, and if he can get in, he can get in.
They obviously worked him out. He had to pass a physical to sign this contract.
He can't be on the practice squad without passing a physical, right? Yeah. Because it was Frank Ragnow was talking about coming back for Detroit.
Ragnow was going to come back for Detroit.
And he failed the physical.
They needed it. Failed the physical. Like, if one of these guys is going to fail the physical, I would have thought it would be 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Apparently, he's keeping himself in good shape, so that's good. All right, as we go to break right now, I remind you about our friends from Culver's. If you are cheering your heart out in the stands or giving it all on the field, Culver's is the place to go to treat yourself to something tasty after the game. From juicy butter burgers to creamy, fresh, frozen custard, crispy crinkle-cut fries, gooey golden cheese curds, something for everyone in your crew to enjoy, win or lose. Culver's, the perfect place to celebrate the sweet memories you'll make all season long. Stop by Culver's in Birmingham on Stadium Trace or Tattersall Park and make this game day a delicious one. Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today, in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Four Downs coming up in just a second. If you missed Nate Oats, you can go back and catch him on podcast or anywhere you get our show on demand. Also, Alex Golesh, the Auburn coach, as I mentioned earlier, 9:30 on Friday. 9:30 on Friday is when you'll catch Alex Golesh. Cut 6, if you will, please, Tyler, because here is the Auburn coach. He met the media again after his introductory press conference earlier this week. And this is the first time he's had a chance on keeping DJ Durkin. News of that broke, I think, Friday that it was official he was keeping DJ, or Thursday or Friday, whenever it was. The days run together now.
Yeah, it was definitely last week.
Yeah, it was last week, end of last week. But his first public comment on it in front of the cameras came at this press conference.
I've known DJ since I was in college. I've coached against DJ, admired watching. You can flip the film on and know what DJ Durkin's about. I think being around him now every day for over a week, it's reinforced for me what I thought all along going into it. It's also different when you've coached against them as a coordinator, and you're sitting there and you've got a week to know every single thing about this guy and how he's going to call a game and tendencies and how he thinks. Like when I was an offensive coordinator, I would spend every living moment as you game plan trying to figure out a guy's tendencies, what makes a guy tick, what pisses him off, where can you find that edge to go score one more point than these guys. And so for me, being around DJ here for over a week now, again, we go so far back. We know so many of the same people. We've been in touch. And as I was going through this process, like, as whether I'm supposed to say this or not, but like DJ in my mind, as I was gonna go through and put a staff together, DJ was the defensive coordinator I wanted to hire.
I love it when coaches say, am I supposed to say this or not? Yes, you're going to say it.
Yeah, it's just weird. I forgot who asked the question last week in his initial presser about, DJ Durkin, and he didn't even mention him by name. And look,
I think it was Rosie. Rosie asked about DJ Durkin and then Cody Burns, and he spent the whole answer on Cody Burns and didn't even mention DJ Durkin.
And look, I mean, he's got to go through his process and however he wants to hire. But, I would have thought at that point, you'd be like, hey, I've known DJ, since college. I respect what he does. We're going to have a conversation. That was what was so weird about that.
And I said it right after the press conference. I found it weird as well, but then as I was able to digest it a little bit as the press conference continued, I thought everybody thinks it was forced on him. And if you say day one on the job, yes, I'm keeping him, it's going to look like it's forced on you. So maybe even if you had decided before you ever took the job you wanted to keep him just for image, maybe you kind of downplayed in that initial press conference, so it doesn't look like it was forced on you. Which
and for the record, South Florida's defense was not bad this year.
That was Todd Orlando, who's a guy that's been around the block. He's coached a lot of places.
USC, that defense gave up 23.3 points per game. It's a touchdown improvement from Golesh's first year.
Yeah, that has been the criticism of that system. Is it's tough on defenses. The guy Golesh used to coach for, Josh Heupel, just fired his defensive coordinator, Tim Banks, earlier this week. They had basically one good defensive year under Tim Banks, and this year their defense was trash. They couldn't stop anybody, so he gets fired. And there are a lot of people that say that system puts defenses in that conflict. Whether that is true or not, at Auburn, only time will tell.
Yeah, well, let me pull that back. First year, so 3 years ago.
This is back at South Florida with Orlando.
South Florida, over 32 points per game. Last year, 29 points per game. This year, 23 points per game. So they've improved since he got there by 10 points. I mean, if you've got, with his offenses, if you can hold teams to 23 points per game, you got a shot at winning a lot of games.
Reminder of our friends from Central State Bank. They want to reward smart grades, right? And if you want to teach your kids something about achieving in school and something about some financial responsibility, they've got a great program for you at Central State Bank, helping young achievers for their future 1A at a time. It's called a Young Savers Account for those young ones in your family. And when the report cards roll in and the grades are available, send it over. Your student could earn up to $10 for A's and B's. So there's a financial reward there, and you get to start teaching them some financial responsibility. Banking that celebrates hard work and builds lifelong habits. Family-owned, community-focused Central State Bank. Member FDIC. And 4 Downs today, presented by Bojangles. You can make it bow time at Bojangles, whether it is a football watch party, a tailgate coming up, or that holiday party. How about a unique holiday party catering with Bojangles? the fried chicken, those hand-breaded chicken tenders, the great sides, the biscuits, those Bo Bites, the hand-breaded chicken tender bites, all available right there at Bojangles for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or those holiday parties. You can always make it Bo time.
First down.
What happens first? Alabama or Auburn wins national championship in hoops, or Notre Dame wins another national championship in football?
Auburn has been just as close as Notre Dame in football. Auburn's going to 2 Final Fours, and the time Notre Dame's going to a couple of national championship games, if I've got my calendar right. So you can make an argument that Auburn has been just as close.
I think Alabama and Auburn are right there right now with Notre Dame football.
Alabama's only been to the 1 Final Four. That would be, you couldn't say they've been as close as Notre Dame, but recently they have.
Yeah, what do you think the equivalent of a 12-team playoff is? Elite Eight?
Probably. Yeah. In the Final Four, I guess Final Fours would match. Semifinals in football, semifinals in basketball, I guess. I'm going to get 2 teams for the price of 1. And listen, man, if Marcus Freeman takes this job, I did not realize how heavy a favorite he was for this Giants job, to the point that his athletic director is now being asked about it and is saying, I'm not going to say we won't match what the Giants offer him.
Yeah, I'm not saying he'll take the job. Yeah. He is favored right now. A lot of those, future markets for guys taking jobs, they're not even close a lot of times. But he is probably going to play the game to get him a nicer ace.
Well, I tell you, I don't know what drives Marcus Freeman. I don't. But, boy, that guy has got some capital at Notre Dame. Like, I would imagine his approval rating's got to be close to 100%.
I think it's 100%, yeah.
And how often as a Notre Dame coach do you have 100%? I bet you Brian Kelly didn't. I bet you even when Brian Kelly was playing Alabama for the national championship, that might have been a 100% approval rating, but he lost it after that. It's hard to do that at a place like Notre Dame, and he's at 100%.
It's hard to do it anywhere.
It really is.
Nick Saban had it.
Yeah.
Kirk Signetti's obviously got it.
He's got it, but that's at Indiana. That's not even the same.
But I don't know anybody.
Ryan Day probably.
Kirby still got it.
Yeah, I think Kirby's at 100%. I think Ryan.
I don't know if Ryan Day's there.
Just because he lost to Indiana. He won a national championship. He's undefeated. He's beaten Michigan.
But he's finally beaten Michigan. I still think that hovers a little bit. It's close.
Yeah. And you can lose that, but boy, it seems like you would lose it quicker with the Giants than you would with the with Notre Dame. And they've got look at their schedule next year. So next year, it came out in all of this controversy that they've got a memorandum of understanding that next year, as long as they are in the top 12, they are in the college football playoff. Their schedule next year, we looked at it the other day. You remember it, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, as you pull that,
awful.
Do you think he would have gotten a raise anyway? Because if I'm representing, and let's just say that Sexton is his guy and they're going to play this out because they're going to get offered massive money from the New York Giants, and then Notre Dame's already said they would match it.
I don't know, because he just got one last year, I think. So.
Yeah, but would you not say, every time that you make a run in the college football playoff, it doesn't matter if it's 1 year apart, you're going to get that raise. Well, he didn't get the opportunity. And if I'm representing Marcus Freeman, it's not Marcus's fault he didn't get the opportunity.
That's right. He did everything he's supposed to do. So here's their schedule next year that they only have to finish 12th. So 10-2 is probably the legitimate record. They need to finish 12th, right? That would be this year. Wisconsin and Green Bay, Rice, Michigan State, at Purdue, at North Carolina, Navy, and Foxborough, Massachusetts, Miami, Boston College, SMU, Stanford, at Syracuse, and maybe USC if they can get that deal done.
Okay, the only losable games, USC, SMU, Miami. He's
basically got to go 10-2, and you host SMU and you host Miami. Two of the losable games you're talking about.
Yeah.
You got to be 10-2 against that schedule to make the playoffs. Why?
Yeah. Now, you would go to SC, but you're going to be favored in at least 11 games.
Assuming that game's played, that's on the road, and you're assuming that game's played. So.
Second down.
I think I stay at Notre Dame if I'm him.
Do you know the name Michael Clark Duncan?
Michael Clark Duncan played the big guy on The Green Mile.
Very good, Brown.
And that's a movie I've never even seen.
This question is not going to be good for you,
then. All right, Tyler, you want to take my place here?
Yeah, feel free, Tyler. He would have been 68 years old today. I was just going to ask the better Michael Clark Duncan movie, Armageddon or Green Mile?
Green Mile.
You're going to love this. I have seen Armageddon. I've not seen Green Mile, of course.
It is Green Mile.
I think you would love Green Mile.
Brown. Oh, I think you would too. Yeah. Now, the problem is it's going to take a while.
It's a long movie, right?
Yeah, it is a long movie. But you like Tom Hanks a lot.
I
Gary
do.
Sinise.
I like Gary Sinise. Very good actor.
And you're a big fan of Shawshank. And
it's got some
same
Shawshank?
director.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Frank Darabont.
Darabont.
All right.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So, yeah, Armageddon was entertaining for what it was.
I think the best part about Armageddon is the DVD commentary.
So who does it?
You should go and look at this. It is Ben Affleck talking about his conversation with Michael Bay during the production of the movie. Because Ben Affleck goes up to him and he says, well, wouldn't it be easier to teach astronauts how to drill oil than teach oil drillers to be astronauts? And Michael Bay told him to shut the F up.
Hey, I got a movie idea. We're going with it.
But Ben Affleck, a very, very intelligent actor. Like, for people that don't know his backstory, again, I'm not intelligent, something I never thought about, but that makes so much more sense, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely go and listen to that DVD commentary. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Third down.
Bobby Flay, 61 years old. Bobby Flay, Bobby Bonilla.
I mean, Bobby Bonilla is still getting paid and hasn't played in forever. There's something to be said for that.
Bobby Flay gets paid a lot.
Oh, he does, but he's still working to get it. I would think Flay had the better career. I think Bobby Flay had the better career than Bobby Bonilla. Bonilla was a good, solid player.
Oh, yeah. Bonilla was really, really good.
All-star player, not Hall of Famer.
One of the reasons he's got this deferred deal that...
Yeah, because he was a hot free agent, right?
Yeah, I think I would lean Bobby Flay, but Bonilla, from winning a championship with the Marlins, played in some really, really big games with the Pirates, that NLCS or Sid Bream game.
He and Bonds were a feared duo. Bonilla and Bonds were a feared duo.
And then his Mets are what really got him paid.
As Scott points out, though, there's no Bobby Flay Day. You do have Bobby Bonilla Day.
That's very true.
There's also no TV show called Beat Bobby Bonilla.
That is also true, yeah. If we want to compare apples to apples, yeah. I'm going to say Bobby Flay.
Fourth down.
Joe Burrow, 29 years old today. Boy, kid's still in his 20s. Can you imagine? Joe Burrow or Joe Montana, ultimately?
I mean, Montana's going to have 3 Super Bowls. The chances are Burrow never gets one.
He's playing at the wrong organization.
He is, and he gets hurt way too much.
He does.
I got to go, ultimately, it's going to be Montana.
Now, I don't know what Montana did at Notre Dame. I'm sure he won a national championship,
I think
right?
he did, yeah. I think he did.
But Burrow winning a Heisman, having, the second, in my opinion, second greatest collegiate season of all time in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, Burrow had a better single season than Montana ever had. And I guess you could say a better college career than Montana, though I don't know that that's accepted. Montana's going to have the better NFL career. Burrow's numbers will probably pass Montana's, but the rings will not.
Yeah. Even in the abbreviated missing games and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers are massive.
Oh, yeah, he's going to put up bigger numbers than what Montana did, but he'll be fortunate to win 1 Super Bowl.
He would have to win 2, in my opinion.
To
if he
even
wins
have a discussion.
2, you could really start to have that discussion. But, yeah, I would agree with you. I would go Montana right now.
He would be fortunate to win just the 1, but you're right, he'd have to win 2. And that is 4 downs. Sleep Home, Alabama. Our friends at CPAP Plus helping you get a better night's sleep.
Yeah, again, I was telling you about the O'Neill brothers. They are guys that want to make sure you're getting that proper sleep every single night. Very important for the body, for the health, that you're getting the 8 hours. And if you're not on a CPAP, they can help you do that at CPAP Plus and O'Neill Medical, sleephomealabama.com. We've told you about that website. But if you're on the CPAP, listen up. They're running that Show Your Score promotion right now. Stop by one of those Birmingham locations, Pelham, Trustful, Inverness on Highway 280. No appointment needed. Show your ResMed My Air sleep score. Automatically entered to win a brand new ResMed Air Mini Travel CPAP worth $900. The Show Your Score raffle runs through December 31st, 2025, so don't miss out. Get all the details, o'neillmed.com. That is O-N-E-A-L med.com.
And Greg Nelson is otherwise known as Greg from Pell City, otherwise known as the guy that needs to get up there and check that roof out on top of your house to make sure it is in proper order. He's got a cleaning system now. And sometimes your roof gets dirty, and it's going to be hard to get up there and clean, right? And not only can it be dangerous being on that roof, but you can also damage the shingles. So you need to let a pro do it, like Greg. And this is beneficial. Not only does it make your house look better, but it can also help you when you have to have an insurance claim. And Greg can explain all of that to you. So if you pull in your driveway every day and you look at that roof, you're like, it's filthy. Call Greg. You may need a new roof, or you may just be able to clean it and make it look better. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City also has a builder's license and a business license. We like to point out the business license, too. It's important. But he's got a builder's license, so he can help you with some of those smaller projects as well. 205-542-3531 or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Do you like College Game Day, the show?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just kind of part of your Saturday, right?
It is. It's not like one of those, I remember back in the day where I would watch, an hour or 2 hours of College Game Day. I'm
Right.
watching, probably altogether 15 minutes.
Most of the time, it's background noise on a Saturday for me.
Yeah, and I'm watching as much Fox now as I am Game
Are
Day.
you really?
Yeah.
Do you like the Fox show?
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of bring that up. The space has never been more crowded. Fox has one. Barstool sometimes does theirs. I don't know what Portnoy on the Fox one, if Barstool still did theirs this year. Game Day has one. CBS Sports has tried one. This year, a record viewing audience for Game Day. Does that surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, it really does.
They averaged 2.7 million viewers per week, which, by the way, was up 22% from last year. So just year over year, they were up 22%. 9 weeks this year were the biggest regular season week they had ever had. So
what do they attribute that to? Because obviously Corso's gone. Like, you understand week one where they do the kind of the going away.
I would attribute it to a couple things. Number one, the Fox Big Noon Kickoff. Platt was very honest about it. They had a bad year this year. They didn't have good games. So they're always at the side of that game. Well, I mean, if it's Ohio State, Purdue, I'm going to go watch Game Day. I mean,
the only thing I would say, we are so programmed and conditioned to do this because we've been watching Game Day for so long that I used to get the DirecTV out and I go to 206 immediately. Yeah. Well, now when you pull YouTube TV, it's going to put Game Day and it's going to have Fox right there side by side. So you've got that option in front of you.
I think it's location. Like, sometimes they're not at a good game, and sometimes you get sucked into being at the better game. Pat McAfee's very popular. He's polarizing, but he's quite popular. As many polarizing people are, right? There's just as many people that like you as hate you. And I think Nick Saban has been a big addition to the show. I think people like what Nick Saban brings to that show. So I think Saban and McAfee are a big reason behind this.
Do you think the kick helps out?
I guess so. I mean, it is entertaining. I'm entertained by that. I don't know about you about the kick. I like seeing those kids.
Yeah, I was more entertained, but when they started giving money away when you still miss the kick, and then they give you a second kick, and it seems like some of the people they've pulled out were ready to kick.
And then they move it in closer for some people.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised by that, but a record year of viewership for College Game Day, and the market has never been more crowded. That space has never been more crowded.
Would you rather see somebody kick the 35-yarder or try to jump a motorcycle through the uprights?
Oh, motorcycle through the uprights every single time. Yeah. Like, if they just did that every week.
Like, you sign off your liability,
That's right.
give them a helmet, give them a cycle.
You ever kicked? No. You ever driven a motorcycle? No. Well, you're doing the motorcycle. That's the one we want to see. All right, we're going to get a little preview of Bama, Oklahoma. Eddie Radosevich, Sooner Scoop, one of our fun guests. He will join us next on The Next Round.
Take The Next Round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
The beauty of the holiday is at the center of your table with the New York Butcher Shop. Their selection of USDA certified Angus prime rib roast, beef tenderloins, and fillets, as well as premium pork and lamb cuts, are the finest selections available in the market and are hand-cut just the way you want. With side dishes handmade by their professional chefs, your holiday meal is complete. Visit one of their 2 locations today in Cahaba Heights or off Highway 119 in Greystone. Place your order today. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Think about the best summer nights of your life. How many of those were in a great t-shirt? Visit nextround.store to get the perfect t-shirt for the next perfect southern night. Nextround.store, the memories are waiting. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final live hour of the show, as always, everything we do on demand, wherever you consume us. You can get that, including Nate Oats with us in the first hour. Go back and hear the Bama basketball coach. A reminder, Alex Golesh, Auburn football coach, makes his inaugural trip to the Next Round on Friday at 9:30. We'll see what Coach is like, if he likes to have fun and laugh a little bit, or if it's going to be all coach speak. You think he'll laugh?
Man, he already seems like he's been there for years.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about from our perspective, just how comfortable he is.
Yeah.
He is very focused, very driven. I haven't seen him laugh a lot, but maybe.
Yeah, I hope he has fun. I mean, Hugh Freeze is okay. Hugh would have some fun with us.
Yeah. Hugh laughed it up.
Yeah.
But now I think people look back and they're like, well, he was laughing because he wasn't working.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. Kalen DeBoer would have. He has a little fun with us.
He's a very, very nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Yeah. I remember when Gus Malzahn got the Central Florida job, somebody's like, oh, you can get Gus Malzahn back home. I was like, if I never have to do another Gus Malzahn interview.
That was rough.
Oh, those were horrific. All right, we're going to talk some Oklahoma, Alabama in just 1 second. Reminder, this is the Champy's Chicken Hour. Champy's world famous fried chicken, wide open right now for lunch. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, those great po' boys, the chicken fingers, the great sides, the drinks, the desserts, all right there at Champy's world famous fried chicken. We always recommend those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Best I've ever had there. You can find them, champy'schicken.com. Sterling and the gang do a tremendous job at Champy's world famous fried chicken, champy'schicken.com. Eddie Radosevich is the voice of Oklahoma fandom. He covers the Oklahoma Sooners for Soonerscoop.com at Eddie_RADO. Eddie Rado. He's like, I'm not going to make him spell my whole last name. That's the way he rolls right there on the X. Welcome in, Eddie. How are you today, my friend?
Gentlemen, I'm doing well. I remember leaving Tuscaloosa at Bryant-Denny Stadium the night of the OU-Alabama game, kind of joking with all the reporters like, all right, we'll see you here in a couple weeks. I think that was going to be the case, but very excited around these parts to host a college football playoff. And I think that, Oklahoma fans, with everything that went into this season, the magnitude of what the fourth year for Brent Venables was going to be, it's been kind of a magical ride over the month of November, going 4-0 and kind of getting their name back into the talk, which, it seemed like that was going to never maybe happen after a couple of losses this year, and certainly the way the first 3 seasons have gone.
Well, after beating Alabama earlier this year, do you think, though, if you had truth serum from Brent Venables, do you think he would rather Alabama had dropped to 10 and Miami's 9? Or do you think with Alabama as offensively challenged, much like Oklahoma right now, do you think they would rather play Alabama a second time?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that there is some comfort in knowing, kind of what you have to game plan for. That was one of the things that he talked about on Sunday when he did a Zoom with us after the college football playoff bracket was announced. He's fared extremely well in quote unquote rematches, did it 3 times at Oklahoma, did it again with Clemson, with Notre Dame, ironically enough, in 2020, playing them in the regular season in an overtime game and then rematching with them in the college football playoff. But he's gone significantly better when you look at just the statistics. George Stoya wrote an article about that this week, and just kind of the drastic disparity between the first 3 times or first 4 times that Brent Venables has played a team and then the second time that they played him. But I don't know if there's necessarily any comfort with who they were going to play. It was going to be somebody good. And, at the end of the day, if they don't get better play offensively, I don't know if it really truly matters who they play. Because it's been kind of rough over the last month, which is ironic when it coincides with the run that they've been on. So there is some comfort with Alabama, but certainly it will be kind of interesting to see how these guys, I guess, match up with one another again this time around, as lopsided as that box score was the first time.
So the same question I'm about to ask about Oklahoma is being asked in these parts about Alabama. What has happened to the offense? And I mean, it's difficult to answer here too, Eddie. You could say a lot of things. I don't know if there's one particular thing, but what is it in Oklahoma? Why has that offense gotten so stuck in mud?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, and I guess it's ironic in a way because everybody came out of that final regular season game against LSU, and that was kind of the first time that, nationally, everybody was like, okay, now wait a second, are they going to let this offense into the college football playoff? And Italy, that was one of the better performances they've had. John Mateer just turned the ball over 3 times. You come out with 393, and as bad as it's been around here, I think that you could live with that, especially with this defense. But yeah, I mean, much like Alabama, it's been, if not one thing, it's been another. And I think that over the first couple of weeks, when John Mateer came back from that injury, obviously came back a little too early. I think we talked about that with you guys last time against Texas. You kind of gave them a little bit of a grace period. But since then, they haven't been able to attack anything vertically. They've been beat up more than anything, especially on the offensive line. Had to move Fabechi Wiwu over and play center in the last game of the year. Jake Michaelis should be back next Friday. We're going to get a little bit of a check-in, I think, today with some of the guys over the program, see where he's at. But they've been beat up there. Then running back-wise, it's been really kind of fascinating to watch because a lot of people thought it was going to be Jaden Ott coming in from Cal. He hasn't been a factor at all this season. Xavier Robinson really kind of turned it on. From about the Ole Miss game through the rest of the season, he just got banged up at the end of the year. Torrey Blaylock kind of the same. They could play through the injury, but they certainly aren't 100%. So it's been one thing or another, and I think that one of the ways they were able to navigate in November, John Mateer wasn't turning the ball over, and he was starting to run the ball a little bit more, as you saw in Tuscaloosa, and then obviously the week before in Knoxville. So the turnovers were certainly the big thing coming at the end of the season. If they just don't put this defense on really bad spots, they feel like they know how to win, which is kind of weird considering that this team had not really found ways to win close ball games in the fourth quarter over the first 3 years of Brent's tenure here in Norman.
Yeah, speaking of that tenure, we were talking approval ratings for fan bases earlier, and the only way you can describe Venables' 4 years is inconsistent. I mean, 6 wins, 10 wins, 6 wins, 10 wins. Where are the fans? And this is obviously far from what you saw with Stoops and far from what you saw with Lincoln Riley. But where is this fan base, and does it help the backstory about Brent Venables and how humanized he is and all of the struggles he went through to get to where he is?
Yeah, if you would have asked me this on October 26th, the day after they got beat by Ole Miss here in Norman, I think people were ready to call the U-Haul and start looking at the future and drafting up hot boards. Luckily, those stayed in the draft folder, didn't have to use them. I think it's gotten better. I think that it's easier to talk about the vision for the program, the culture of the program, which has always been good in the first 3 years. They just weren't winning on Saturday. That's all a little bit more comfortable to talk about now that they've been able to find ways to win, obviously getting into the college football playoff. But much like Alabama, Oklahoma fans have an expectation of the program that they should be playing for national titles every season. And, I think right now it's seen as a success here in year number 4. You don't have to worry about if you're going to be looking for a head coach over the next few years, you would think. But at the same time, I think that, they go out and lose next Friday. That tone of the fan base he's kind of gotten a little bit of real estate back, that will be lost and will be kind of almost back to square one. So it was a big year for him to find some type of footing, some type of foundation for the program moving forward, and especially coming off of last year and the first year in the SEC when it was just flat out embarrassing at all fronts, and especially with an offense that was one of the worst in the modern era of the program. So it's better, I guess, all things considered, talking about the offense, but it still has definitely some room to grow.
Hey, not putting you on the spot, do you know a lot about his backstory as far as like growing up and the
Sean
struggles?
McDonough gave a lot of it.
We've heard it a little bit on the broadcast, but I don't know if you could actually take it and run with it a little bit more.
I've just heard him talking about it. Other people that have been connected to Brent talking about it. The first time around, I was when he was here in Norman the first time around, I was in middle school and high school, and then obviously into college. And by the time I got into like the J school stuff at Oklahoma, he had moved on, I was still kind of a little smart ass reporter in the back, so didn't really get a whole lot involved. But yeah, like he had a very incredibly rough upbringing. I think it was Sean McDonough that had referred to it in one of the broadcasts here in the last month or so. But single parent family, and I think that he kind of has literally fought for everything that he has kind of gotten, all the way going back to his days at Kansas State as a player, and then obviously turning into a coach and kind of using Bill Snyder as somewhat of a mentor, I believe. So yeah, and I think that like in a way, this team now really kind of reflects the blue collar, if you will. They've kind of dialed in on the mantra of hard to kill. Every day is the most important day. And, I think a lot of people kind of roll your eyes at it, but when you see some tangible evidence that the mentality is working and that, truly kind of what he's built as a culture and as a foundation for his program, it really kind of resembles that. And I think to an extent, one of the ways that the Oklahoma City Thunder have kind of endeared themselves to Oklahoma City fans is because they know how Oklahomans are. And this is a team that I think Oklahomans can really kind of identify, because I don't think that, outside of like the SEC first team and second team, third team that came out on Tuesday, they're not going to have a whole lot of guys that litter the All-American team. And it's a bunch of kind of grinders, if you will. I know that's cliche and kind of terrible at the same time, but it's been kind of fun to come together this year and kind of come out of nowhere for a lot of people, because I think there were a lot of people that had kind of given up on the program as a whole here, midway through the season.
Someone sent us, Eddie Radosevich is on with us, Soonerscoop.com, at Eddie_RADO, Eddie Rado, if you want to follow him on social media. And I highly recommend you do. Eddie's very entertaining beyond just the Oklahoma stuff. Someone sent us a photo, and they said it was earlier this week. I don't know. It kind of looked old to me. There was snow covering the ground in Norman, Oklahoma. And Alabama fans are looking ahead. I saw this morning 62 and sunny next Friday. It's going to be a spring day in Norman, Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know about you guys down in Alabama, but I would take that with a grain of salt, because that can change in the state of Oklahoma. Still 8 days out or 9 days out, I guess. But like the early indication is that it's going to be beautiful for December 19th. If you can get a 60-degree day, obviously it'll go down by the time the game kicks off at 7, but that is relatively comfortable for all things considered. It's been pretty chilly here over the last couple of weeks. Haven't gotten a whole lot of precip. There was a morning that it did, but it wasn't anything too bad. But anything too bad around here with Oklahomans and the way that we drive in winter weather, that will shut down a city. So luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to be an ice bowl or anything like that.
I'm glad to know we're not alone. Like, they can't drive in snow there either.
I mean, that's not really surprising. They seem like they're a little more cold weather than we are.
That's true. I mean, if you ever wondered if Oklahoma fits in the SEC, they can't drive in snow. Yeah. I mean, that should be like Greg Sankey should have said, do your people drive in snow? No, they do not. Okay, you're in.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not a pretty picture when you get any type of winter precipitation in central Oklahoma. That's for sure.
So he did not play in the first meeting, but R. Mason Thomas, the all-SEC defensive lineman, where is his health moving forward?
Yeah, it's I think right now it'd probably be 50-50. I know that he started to do a little bit. He had I think it was basically come down to about a grade 2 quad strain coming out of the Tennessee game, and obviously didn't play in Tuscaloosa a couple weeks after the game at Neyland. He sat out the rest of the regular season, and I think after they got through the Missouri game, it was more of a, okay, how can we get you ready for the first week of December, or I guess third week of December, second week of December, whatever it's going to be. So it's usually about a 4 to 6 week deal. We would be in right near the end of week 5 going into next week. So I think it's progressing properly. I think that there's a lot of hope that he can play. And certainly if you can get R. Mason Thomas back onto the field, a really, really good defensive line becomes that much better. And I think that there's no better example of just his importance and his impact on the team when he is on the field than making the first team All SEC in 9 games. I mean, that's pretty incredible. And every one of the games that he's been in, whether it be the Auburn game, whether it be, you could pick any of them. Tennessee, obviously, with the 71-yard scoop and score, he makes a difference. He's one of the best pass rushers in the country. And they feel like with him on the field opposite of Taylor Wine, they have 2 of the better defensive ends nationally.
So in 9 days, if you went unit by unit, I think offense is both garbage, both a push right now. Defense, both really good. Maybe Oklahoma a little bit of edge. Special teams, 1,000% Oklahoma gets the edge. Tate Sandell, 7 of 7 beyond 50 this year. Everybody talks about his britches. What is the story with the pants, and how big of a weapon has he become for Venables?
Incredible. So the pants, I guess he ripped his pants at Neyland Stadium and had to go to the backups, and they were too baggy, too long. So he started just hiking them up every time he went out, and he ended up kicking 4 field goals that night, 3 over 50, and was really good. I didn't even notice it during the game. I didn't notice it until I got back up to the press box after the game that that had become a national story. But he's been fantastic. I mean, he's a guy that they got out of the portal this past December, I guess, and it was one of those past spring, and it was one of those situations. They needed a kicker. They needed some help going through the spring. It wasn't good. There was some inconsistency there, and it was almost kind of a little bit of a Hail Mary when he entered the portal out of UTSA. He's been fantastic. I mean, the guy is probably, if not is, probably out of it. He is having one of the best seasons in school history. Lou Groza finalist. He's, as impressive as the numbers are from 50 plus, he's 10 for 10 from 45 plus. He missed his first kick of the season, and he hasn't missed since. He's made 23 in a row. I'm a superstitious guy. I kind of wish he would have missed one at the end of the season. Obviously, they didn't put Oklahoma in a bad spot, but he's been fantastic. And I think that's one of the reasons Oklahoma's been so quote-unquote conservative when they get across the 40 or 35-yard line is they know that they can probably get 3 points from Tate Sandell. Their special teams this year, what Doug Deacon has done as the special teams analyst coordinator, whatever you want to call it, he's been fantastic. That whole group, Grayson Miller's a fun story. He was kicking at Central Oklahoma, a Division II school up the road in Edmond last year, joined the program, wasn't even really truly to have to be the starter. He ends up making first team All SEC. Both those guys, if they aren't performing the way that they have all season, Oklahoma's not in a college football playoff. So it's been kind of fun to see, a side of the football, the third phase of the game that doesn't get talked about. It's not very sexy, but they've been unbelievable this year.
Okay, 2 things before you go. I don't know why our live chat gets focused on the things they get focused on, but it's the most random things they get focused on. They want to know what milligram Zen, or is it Zen, what milligram and what flavor?
Wintergreen Zen and 6, and you got to go 3 at a time because I'm a little bit of a sicko that way.
Dang, son. Three. You go 3 6s at a time? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it's bad. I know it's bad. I'm sorry, Mama.
No, your mom does not watch our show. Don't worry. Number 2, like when I'm on the golf course, I use them, but I can only go. I mean, 3 or 4 is my limit right there. Not 4 at a time. I mean, like 4 milligram. Done with.
Have a cigarette on the golf course every once in a while.
Number 2, I don't know the entire backstory to this, but I wanted to applaud you. You helped raise a ton of money for the Boys and Girls Club of Oklahoma. It was some sort of weird bet that something happened. I don't know the story, but I just wanted to commend you for that. How much did you guys end up raising?
Yeah, we ended up raising $35,000, just over $35,000. I think the final count was like $35,600 for the Boys and Girls Club of Norman, and I was like, I'm not a very serious person all the time. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably get that. But to see just kind of the outpouring of generosity, especially around Thanksgiving, it was awesome to see. And I think that the Boys and Girls Club of Oklahoma or of Norman have been awesome to work with. That's going to go to a good spot. In fact, I'm supposed to go over there at the end of this week to hang out for a little bit. So it's been awesome. It was really, really cool. Come out of a kind of an awkward, weird situation with OU and Texas, but kind of the spirit of the season, and certainly a highlight of OU Texas never sleeping. It's always kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a social media gets hammered a lot, understandably, but that was a good side of social media when people can rally like that. So well done. That's good out of you. All right, next Friday, Alabama and Oklahoma. Eddie's helped us break it down a little bit. Should be a fun game. Eddie, thank you very much for the time. Always good talking with you.
Absolutely. Anytime, guys. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that it should be quite the atmosphere here in Norman. A lot of people text messages in July and August. It starts with, wouldn't it be cool if Oklahoma hosted a playoff game? And see it kind of come to reality that I don't know if a whole lot of people would have signed up for midseason. Should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
We appreciate it, guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. Eddie Radosevich, at Eddie_Rado on social media is where you follow him. Very entertaining there. Soonerscoop.com for you Oklahoma fans. Part of the show today presented by our guy, Dr. B. Eddie's got plenty of hair. I don't think he needs Dr. B.
No, I think Eddie is fine on that hair. But if you are someone that is follically challenged and it starts going away, it doesn't matter when it is, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you need to get preemptive. You need to stop it. You need to grow some back. Our man, Dr. Beckenstein, he is the best in the business. Speaking from experience, I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. My hair's more than doubled in thickness over the last 4 years. 205-319-0316. Dr. B, for more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use his experience, advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. T3hair.net for more information. Stop wasting money, critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. B and find out what will work for you. T3's got that test. Easy, painless, affordable. Takes seconds to perform. 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
And if you're looking for a bank that is working for you, Central State Bank is that bank. They don't just open accounts, they open relationships. They are family-owned, they are community-focused, they are built on trust, and for more than 100 years, Central State Bank has served Central Alabama, Shelby County, and Tallapoosa County, and all over Central Alabama with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether it's starting a business, buying a car, planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank is with you every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC. By the way, Scott has got this. Brooks sent it out. It's the Big Ten's idea of what the college football playoff could potentially look like. Now that there's controversy, obviously, everybody's going to talk about, well, what do you do next? The assumption is you go from 12 to 16, you eliminate the byes. The argument then becomes, how many weeks do you do on campus? Do you do the first 2 weeks on campus? I think the answer is yes to that. But that's always going to be the discussion.
I mean, where do you think the Big Ten is right now, only getting 3 teams in?
I think they probably want expansion.
Yeah.
I think they want more than 3 teams. But they really can't argue, right?
No.
I mean, nobody got shafted.
No. I mean, your 4th and 5th best teams were USC and Michigan, and they were not even close to being college football playoff
The
teams.
Big Ten's been the quietest one. Like the SEC was kind of banging the drum for Alabama even before championship weekend, and then certainly after championship weekend, they were banging the drum for Alabama. Notre Dame has been very loud. The ACC has been very loud.
I do think there's a really good chance the Big Ten is going to be holding the trophy up for the 3rd consecutive year. You know, I said yesterday Georgia, but I'm just saying that Indiana, Ohio State, and even Oregon realistically could win this thing.
Well, try this one on for size. It would be a 24-team playoff. Now, you would not eliminate byes, but you would have a much more robust first round. Now, I realize many of you are on audio and audio only. You cannot see this bracket, so I'm going to quickly go through what you would have in the first couple of rounds. But this is the Big Ten model, which would result in a 24-team bracket. Your first-round games, 9-seed Alabama hosting 24-seed Pitt. The winner still gets 8-seed Oklahoma. The 23-seed Duke Blue Devils on the road at 10-seed Miami. Winner still goes to College Station in that game. You've got number 11 seed Notre Dame playing host to number 22 seed James Madison. Winner goes to Ole Miss in that game. You've got 12 seed BYU playing 21 seed Houston in Provo. Winner plays at Oregon. 13 seed Texas playing host to 20 seed Tulane. Winner goes to Lubbock. You've got 14 seed Vandy playing host to 19 seed Virginia. Winner goes to Athens. 18 seed Michigan playing 15 seed Utah. Winner goes to Ohio State. A Michigan-Ohio State rematch will be highly entertaining. And then 16-17, USC playing host to Arizona. Winner goes to Indiana. After that, it's just your normal playoff.
Okay, here's what I would say about this. Look, and I'm all for more football and more games and look, more opportunities to gamble and sit on the couch and watch this stuff. But of the teams that are already in those first-round matchups, they're not going to lose those games. Alabama's not losing to Pitt. Miami's not losing to Duke. James Madison would lose to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is the only team on the outside right now that has any business at all being in this postseason. So
I mean, you've campaigned for Vanderbilt, though. I mean, that would get Vanderbilt in.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would like to see Vanderbilt because I think 10-2 in the SEC. I think you're at least, I mean, you're right there on the bubble. But I don't think Vanderbilt's going to make a lot of noise in this.
Now, this 2014, Brooks, help me here. This 2014 playoff, it comes with 4 guaranteed spots for the Big Ten and the SEC. That's their proposal, right?
And the ACC and the Big 12.
All get 4?
You can't do that.
And then the 2 highest ranked group of 5 or group of 6 starting next year.
We are not eliminating any problems at all. All we're doing is extending the inevitable, and the inevitable is going to be one of the teams that is currently in right now. Again, I would give Notre Dame a pass on this, but one of the teams that's currently in is going to win this thing. So all we've done is stretch this thing out.
I mean, you've added more games.
I will say, when I looked at this was all but 2 teams in the current top 25. So it's essentially just almost a top 25 playoff.
So basically, if you're ranked, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, the only 2 teams that got left out were Georgia Tech and Iowa.
Understandably.
Yeah, I mean, Tech lost 3 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled down the stretch. I don't think Iowa did anything that was playoff worthy this year. I mean, if the bowl games aren't already dead, this would just kill your bowl games. I mean, you wouldn't have bowl games anymore. You'd have all these on-campus games.
And I mean, and these are technically meaningful games.
That's
I mean,
right.
as much as I don't think Utah's going to do anything in this playoff, but if they beat Michigan and beat Ohio State, then
meaningful games played in an on-campus environment to me are better than bowl games.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, I would rather have those in bowl games.
I mean, there is not a world that we live in. I know, there's conferences that get upset. The Big 12 is upset because it's only Texas Tech, but BYU wasn't even close in either one of those games. But there is no way you can give the Big 12 and the ACC the same leash that you give the SEC and the Big 10.
7-3 Troy says if you do that system, your answer is you eliminate the conference championship games, and that first round of games would have been championship weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if it sets up like that, I mean, again, I need a little more common sense around this, but I don't have a problem with expanding it. I just think we're going to get back to where we are.
I mean, this is the FCS model. They have a 2014 playoff.
That's correct. But it wasn't always that way. I think it was 12 teams not too terribly long ago, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, you're right. They've got a 2014 playoff. And, by the way, it resulted in a massive upset. We referenced it earlier in the show. North Dakota State, the power of that division, lost to Illinois State over the weekend. I don't know if you saw how it happened. Illinois State scored to tie it at 20. No, wait a minute. They scored to make it, if I'm right about this, 28-27, and then they went for 2 with like a minute to go. Like, they weren't going to get the ball back. They were going to have to kick it onside if they don't get the 2-point conversion. And their coach was like, we're at the dome.
I like the aggression.
I do too. Well, I mean, like, why would you go to overtime in that situation?
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing at the dome against the power in that division. You've scored to give yourself a chance. Why not just go for 2 right there? I mean, I think there was a minute left.
I didn't see any of it. Obviously, we were out of town and all that.
Yeah.
But, like, this is the weekend that I typically check out some of those games coming up.
You're not going to see North Dakota State.
I know that. Yeah. But we do have bowl games now that we talked about, so I guess it'll be a crowded weekend. We don't have NFL yet on this Saturday, do we? Or do we?
No, the NFL does not start on Saturday until next week.
Yeah.
So would theoretically this weekend be when the second round of this playoff would be? What about that, Lance? Would you be sitting at home watching the second round of this playoff?
I would be.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
1,000%. All I'm saying, Brooks, I don't have a problem with it.
All your seeded teams are playing at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at that point, then you do have the teams that should be in this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying these first-round games, but they would have been better than what we saw with the conference championship games.
I don't
I mean, even
with
watching Indiana, Ohio State, I think we were more fascinated with how good is Indiana, do they belong? But The gravity of the situation was both were going to get first-round bye, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
You lose one of these games, you're done.
It was Indiana trying to win a Big Ten championship. That was the only pull to that game. If that had been Ohio State, Oregon, it's still got no feel to it.
Yeah, by the way, it is Week 16, so it's not this weekend. It is next Saturday, the 20th.
Right when the college playoffs start.
Eagles, Commanders, and that rematch with Green Bay and Chicago.
And that is why 2 sacrificial lamb college games have been sent to TNT to die, and they're going to die against the NFL. But I think
what a weekend, though. We got the Rams and Seahawks on Thursday night, Alabama, Oklahoma on Friday night.
And then Miami-Texas A&M early, and then those 2 NFL games.
Yeah, take your pick after that.
Yeah, heck of a weekend. I don't disagree with you. All right, and you'll have locks on those, and the lock is always presented by Hemp Hill Services.
Yeah, and again, we've actually got 3 plays in college hoops up and available. They are up right now, free play, every single day at lanceslock.com. You can get a weekly play, daily play, you can buy the monthly package. We've got a bowl package coming up as well. We'll give you more details on that. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. For all of your plumbing, heating, cooling, any of those issues arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And from your first sip of coffee to your late night movie, Alabama Power has your back. They are working hard to keep everything running smoothly using the latest tech to keep outages at bay and offering free tools to help you save energy. And with teams available 24/7, 365, you can count on Alabama Power to do everything in their power to power everything you do. Check out alabamapower.com to see how they're making the services they deliver even more reliable now and for the future with Alabama Power. Trash is next.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
He will be in New York Saturday night after Army-Navy. By the way, I guess that bowl game comes on after the Heisman. So they'll do the Heisman and then play the bowl game Saturday. I don't know why I'm so fixated on this bowl game.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It's got to be. That's got to be the way it lays out, right?
Yeah. So Army-Navy on CBS, which I don't know if Gary Danielson is. I don't know if anybody cares about this. They probably celebrate it. I don't know if Gary Danielson's doing the Sun Bowl or if Army-Navy's his final game ever on CBS. I don't know how that's rolling.
Yeah, how would you do it if you were Gary?
I would do Army-Navy and not do the Sun Bowl. Would you want to go to El Paso for the Sun Bowl? I don't even know who's in the Sun Bowl.
Here we go. The first bowl game is going to kick at 7 o'clock on ABC. Now, normally, they wouldn't do the ceremony at halftime. They normally do it around 7 o'clock. Are they just moving it up?
I don't know. I guess Army-Navy.
By the way, Diego Pavia made a major jump yesterday in the odds.
Whoa. Update me on this because I was about to ask you a Diego Pavia question. So this goes
major
update. Where are we?
He's at plus 450 now. I think Fernando Mendoza's still like minus 1,000, but I mean, significantly jumped up.
So he's going to finish second still.
He's going to finish second.
Yeah, you're willing to say that.
Yeah.
Are you willing? And I don't know how often you can say this. Like, are you willing to say he is the greatest football player in Vanderbilt football history?
In the here and now, in the moment, yes.
Because I don't know how often, like, you can watch a player. I mean, some would say Cam Newton at Auburn. Some would say Bo Jackson at Auburn. So there's no clear cut at Auburn. At Alabama, it's really, really hard. Like, Don Hudson played a million years ago, but he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer, changed the game, the way the pro football game was played. Derek Thomas is in the discussion. You got a lot at Alabama. They've had so many great players. I don't even know if you have a definitive answer there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's impossible with that. I mean, when you look at, Jordan Matthews, a guy that we talked to this past week, Will Wolford, Corey Chavis, a defensive back.
Earl Bennett was a
Earl
tremendous
Bennett
receiver.
Would be in the mix.
I mean, Cutler's got to be in the discussion.
Cutler, I think got him to 7 wins.
I don't think he passes Diego Pavia.
No, he doesn't. But Pavia is going to be your answer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty miraculous that, in the same season, there is a possibility. Well, it's going to go one of two ways. Indiana is your 1 seed in the college football playoff.
That's right.
They are either going to have the Heisman Trophy winner or Vanderbilt is. So think about that.
It doesn't make sense. It's an upside-down football world.
Yeah.
That's 2 of the worst programs in the history of the game.
Ever.
I mean, Indiana, I'm right, is the second losingest program in college football history.
Going into this year, they were, which I'm sure they still are.
Yeah, I think Purdue is worse. I think that's the only one that's worse.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Vandy comes in very, very close. Once you, I don't know what number they are, but you get to them quickly. And they are producing a Heisman Trophy winner and playing for a national championship in the same season.
I mean, this sounds ridiculous, but you're trying to make Vanderbilt more of a football place, right? And do you think there's a chance that Diego gets a statue?
Oddly, their basketball team, this is one of the best basketball teams they've had in quite a while. It used to be a basketball school only. Then baseball got really good. I don't know. I guess, Lance, you build them a statue. I don't know. I don't know if they've got any statues on that campus.
Well, I'm just saying, if there was ever a player that was deserving of a statue, it would be Diego Pavia. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get a Vanderbilt finalist, Heisman finalist again. Could be wrong. A lot of people said we'll never get Indiana in the college football playoff after last year.
Yeah, and here they are as the 1 seed. I don't know if you build a statue. I don't know what you do to honor Diego Pavia. Like, he's not going to win the Heisman. If he had happened to have won the Heisman, like if Mendoza had not had this kind of year, if you've got a Heisman Trophy winner at Vanderbilt, you got to do something.
I think even with a runner-up, you got to think about something. Like, I don't know what it looks like I haven't been to that stadium in a long time.
Yeah, they've obviously expanded it.
Yeah,
made it look somewhat better.
I don't know what it looks like on the outside.
I know where you're going here, but remember, it's got a corporate name on it. I know it's one of the banks up there. I'm not sure which. Maybe First
Is it First Bank?
I think it's First Bank. Yeah. So it's got a corporate name on it. So you can't go Pavia. I guess you could go Diego Pavia Field if you wanted to.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying I would throw him a little bronze out there, and people are doing it for, I don't want to say lesser.
I mean, there's a good chance that one day it's going to be way in the future, but one day they play their games on Clark Lee Field at First Bank Stadium or whatever.
Oh,
the stadium
yeah,
is
really
then.
good chance.
I mean, Clark Lee is the best coach they've ever had.
So
he's
athletes,
already established that, right? He's the best coach Vandy's ever had. I mean, I don't know how you.
I mean, I think people might still say James Franklin just because he had.
Lee has done more than Franklin, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. Franklin got to 9 wins.
Yeah, but he stacked numbers against not very. Lee's legitimately he beat number 1 Alabama.
Yeah, I would agree, but I still think people might hold out on James Franklin just based on the Franklin career that he's had. How many other schools have statues of athletes outside of facilities? I know Shaquille's got one, LSU.
Cam at Auburn,
Tebow at Florida.
Alabama doesn't have a player statue, but they do have coaches. I don't know if you want to include that.
No, I'm just talking about players.
Okay. Then
Oklahoma does. All their Heisman winners.
They got statues?
Yeah.
Boy, they've had a lot of Heisman winners.
I know. Baker Mayfield's got it was kind of a joke online. Baker Mayfield's doesn't really look like him. It's
statues never
it's almost
do.
like the soccer player.
Yeah, not Diego. Who was the soccer player? It was not Maradona. Who's the soccer player, Tyler, that doesn't look like a statue?
It's the dude from Portugal.
Cristiano
Ronaldo. Yeah, his statue's awful. And Nick Saban's statue looks like Andy Griffith.
Yeah, give me a statue where it looks like.
No, they're so bad. Statues are so bad.
No, I'm not going to be surprised if Diego gets one.
Yeah. All right, as we go to Trash Company Distilling, we have got a fun event coming up with Company Distilling in the very near future.
So the very next week,
right?
Next week. It's a week from today, December the 17th. We're going to be at the Edgewood location of Odie's from 4 till 6. We're doing an activation with our friends at Company Distilling. You've heard us talking about these guys for months and months and months. Now is your opportunity. If you haven't had it, you can come join us. We're going to be doing a live show out there from 5 to 6. We'll be out there 4 to 6. All the folks from Company Distilling, our man Will Haver, all the great folks at Odie's, the Odie's in Edgewood. So join us if you've been waiting to try a whiskey as good as the company you keep. This is your moment. I highly suggest going and picking up a bottle before. If you've got a Christmas party this weekend, if you're looking for that stocking stuffer. But if you can join us next Wednesday, come out 4 to 6, the Edgewood location of Odie's. We're going to be out there with our friends at Company Distilling. For more information, companydistilling.com/Alabama.
And Trash Today presented by our friends at Pants Store. The Pants Store is here for you, pantstore.com, if you want to go online and see everything they've got right now with Christmas just around the corner. Listen, those teenagers, the young adults in your life, a gift card from the Pants Store will go a long way. They all love it. My daughter, a student at the University of South Alabama, when some out-of-state students, this is an honest-to-goodness story, out-of-state students met her and found out she was from Birmingham, the first thing they said was, "Oh, my gosh, you've got the Pants Store." And in a case like, yeah, I've gone there my whole life. And they're like, "You go to the Pants Store?" I mean, they were so fired up about it, Lance. Like, when we come visit you, can we go to the Pants Store? That's the way it's viewed nationally. We just got it right here in our own backyard.
Well, hey, and we'll be out there.
Another event.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. We have got a fun event with the Pants Store next Friday that you're going to love, and we'll tell you more about that. Pantstore.com. Pantstore.com. All the great gear from Cutter and Burke, Cutter and Buck, Southern Tide, all the great gear right there at Pants Store. Game day gear as well. You can find it all at pantstore.com and a location nearest you, pantsstore.com. Tyler, if you will, please hit the button.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, our friends at Bud Light. So, 3 weeks before Christmas, in the prison yard, a drone dropped a package that was found by a guard. It had steak, weed, and crab legs, and cigarettes. And it was in a tin of Old Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go in that order. I want the steak, then the crab legs, and...
Boy, that steak looks raw.
Oh, I mean, it's not going to be fresh, but I'm gonna have to... Probably going to have to cook that one well done to cook out all the bad.
Yeah, the illicit meal was dropped into the Lee Correctional Institution prison yard by a drone. The South Carolina Department of Corrections said on X with the hashtag Contraband Christmas. Photo from Bishopville Prison showed a raw steak still in the grocery store packing, crab legs, an Old Bay with side plastic bags of marijuana, and a couple of cartons of cigarette.
I just noticed this. Is this meat from Piggly Wiggly?
Oh, yeah.
The pig. So now where is this? Where did
South
this happen?
Carolina. Yeah, they got pigs up there.
They got the pig up there.
All right.
Yeah. Prison officials investigating. No arrests have been made. Keeping contraband out of state prisons, constant battle. People would toss or catapult, get packages or cell phones, drugs, other illegal items over the perimeter fence until officials raised the fences and added another netting at the top. So just flying a drone near a prison in South Carolina, misdemeanor, carries up to 30 days in jail. Dropping contraband into the prison, felony that can land someone behind bars for 10 years.
Crab legs. I like crab meat. I've said this many times on the show. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Crab legs are a lot of trouble.
A lot of work.
For good meat, but it's not enough good meat for me.
Have you ever seen?
I like somebody else to do the work for me and just get pulled crab meat already.
Well, I mean, I would prefer that, but I don't mind going through all the legs and cracking them.
It's a lot of work. It was a dead hit on the first throw. A lot of work, Tyler, though. You'll give me that, though, right?
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's worth it to me, though.
Have you ever seen The Mayor of Kingstown? It's another Taylor Sheridan. I watched first season back in 2020. It's with Jeremy Renner, Kyle Chandler. They put him in the promos and stuff. Doesn't last long. That's the only spoiler I'll give you, but it was 5 years ago. But Tommy Firestick reached out to me recently. We've been going back and forth on a couple of things, and he was like, you got to get on this, man. It's his best work. And I was like, I haven't even seen season 2. And he's like, if you watch season 2, you'll get hooked. So I went back and watched it, and it's like just crazy prison, like nonstop, over the top, like the most action. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's just too over the top.
I always confuse this with Mayor of Easttown, right?
No, Mayor of Easttown was a standalone with Kate Winslet.
I did watch that. I did not watch Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah. Mayor of Kingstown. Have you watched it?
I have not.
Okay. I thought the first season was pretty good, but again, it's
Chase said it ran its course. Keith says not a fan.
Yeah.
Chase says it's turned into a soap opera in his opinion.
I didn't realize it's 5 seasons deep now.
Yeah. Ran its course, apparently, according to the chat room.
Now, a seal walked into a bar, or a technical term. It had glumped into a bar. The creature was apparently lost, curious, well below New Zealand's legal drinking age. It lodged itself under the dishwasher, showed no interest in leaving in a wet, lazy Sunday evening when the baby fur seal waddled into the Spring and Fern Meadows Craft Beer Bar in Richmond, the top of New Zealand's South Island. Accustomed to seeing animals in the pet-friendly bar, co-owner Bella Evans assumed the visitor was a dog before she took a closer look and was in shock that it was a seal. Patron grabbed a sweater, tried to usher the seal out of the back door. Evading its pursuers, creature dashed into a restroom and then hid under the dishwasher.
Oh, that's sad. He's scared.
Another customer fetched a dog crate from home, and Evans made a plan to lure the visitor out of its hiding place using pizza topping the pub was offering as a special. There was a brief wait for conservation rangers to arrive. It turned out they were already tracking wandering seal. Quote, it was their fourth call of the day. They've been driving around New Build subdivision trying to find the baby seal. Now, New Zealand's conservation agency confirmed it received numerous reports from the public about a seal spotted in Richmond on Sunday before it turned up at the pub.
You know, seals are largely ugly animals, I would say. But it's funny how a baby seal can be kind of cute. Oh, that's a cute little animal right there.
I like seals and sea lions. I think they're cool.
Well, but they're ugly.
Not really.
Okay. Well, it's my taste. You can't tell me they're not ugly.
Shark like
I wouldn't date a seal or a sea lion. Would you, Tyler?
Oh, well, now you're going too far.
Oh.
Now, the seal was released nearby Rabbit Island, considered a safe location because of its dog-free status. So there you go. Safe as we know right now.
Well, that's good to hear.
Great White will probably get it in the next couple of weeks.
I'm glad to see. Did you like Seal the musician, Tyler?
Not
He
bad.
had one song, right?
He had that one song. I prefer the Super Bowl commercial that came out where Seal was a seal.
Yeah, so he's not a one-hit wonder?
No,
Seal?
he had more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have considered Seal a one-hit
You
wonder.
think Heidi Klum is going to get married to a one-hit wonder?
Yeah. Never know.
57-year-old Canadian man has been arrested and charged with assault for blowing snow at another person after a dispute.
God, could you imagine living there? I don't know where this is.
It ain't good.
It ain't good, though.
Now, the holiday season is supposed to be a time of the year when spirits are at their highest. Everyone gets along in a friendly manner. However, here we go. In Canada, There have been a few people upset out and about before Christmas really kicks in. At the start of the month, police in Ontario, Canada, were called after one resident put up signs about Santa being fake during the town's annual Christmas parade. They were made to take the signs down. Why would somebody do this?
Yeah, I mean, really.
Now,
it's the end game here.
Over in Ste. Marie, Ontario, 57-year-old Christopher Wright was arrested, charged with assault after spraying a victim with snow from a snowblower. As per the police, Wright had gotten into an argument with the victim, who is known to him, before intentionally directing snow from a snowblower at them. Wright was arrested by police shortly after 9 a.m. on December 7th, with the victim being unharmed by the snow that was blown at them. 57-year-old scheduled to appear in court in February of next year. If found guilty, could face up to 5 years in prison.
I would never live anywhere where I have to have a snowblower. If you have to own a snowblower, you move.
Yeah, that's a no.
Do I buy the snowblower? No. You pay the realtor with the money you're going to spend on the snowblower, and you move.
Yeah, I'm back to our last guest, Eddie.
Eddie Radosevich. Soonerscoop.com.
Like, to me, Oklahoma's too cold.
Well, I mean, I did not know that they were so unprepared to drive in the snow, though. I would have thought Oklahoma is above the line where you've got to be prepared to drive in the snow. I was a little alarmed.
You would think that you would get a lot more than you get it.
I was a little surprised to learn that. I think they get enough snow that that they are prepared to drive in it. If you have to, it's another thing. If you have to own chains for your tires, you need to move.
Well, I would think if you've got to have chains for the tires, you probably have to have the snowblower, or at least a shovel. I think even if you got a shovel that you use more than 2 or 3 times a year to get it off the sidewalk or driveway, I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
So you guys remember the drunk raccoon in the package store?
Oh, I do.
We got an update.
All right.
A drunken raccoon has inspired merchandise that is helping raise money for Virginia Animal Shelter. Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter in Hanover, Virginia has raised more than $156,000 on December 8th for merchandise that displays a dazed raccoon right beside a spilled bottle of alcohol. The merchandise has been dubbed Trashed Panda.
Perfect.
Now, the Trash Panda shirts, hoodies, and travel mugs honor the raccoon that went viral for breaking into the Virginia liquor store, drinking what he could get his paws on, and then passing out in the bathroom during the Thanksgiving weekend. Now, the Trash Panda merchandise is available for purchase on Bonfire, a fundraising website, through the end of December 8th, so you can't get it anymore. Sorry about that. Classic T-shirts cost $25. Hoodies were $42, and stickers were $5. Travel tumblers, $36.
Now, what am I supporting here? Wildlife, basically?
Yeah.
An animal shelter.
An animal shelter?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a worthwhile cause.
Yeah. I mean, it helps fund training equipment, shelter needs for animals.
Yeah.
And for the officers involved.
Now, but that was a raccoon, right?
Correct.
So why did we use panda, trashed panda?
That's what the nickname for raccoons are.
Yeah, like
Trash
you got
pandas.
the Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah. I'm a little slow on the uptake today.
That's all I got.
That's it. Trash today. Presented in part by our friends at Crane U, where Lance actually, if Lance can operate a crane, anyone can.
That's fair.
Would you agree with that?
I've got no problem with that, and they are the best in the business. So you can get your crane training you need. Get it today from our friends at Crane U. If you're looking for that new career, need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U, they offer the comprehensive, state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, not a problem. The team at Crane U will come to you on site, on location training offered nationwide. Make your job easier and your job site safer. Crane U also offers certification, safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so call our friends at Crane U. Call 855-CRANE-U. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. You can visit them online at crane.com. See what Crane U has to offer you.
All right, so Eddie Radosevich was on with us talking about the excitement that the Oklahoma fans have about hosting a first-round playoff game. You know, it's the interesting thing. You get excited about getting a bye, but I do think there's that element of excitement about being one of the 5 through 8 seeds where you get to host that first-round game. Like, it's almost as exciting as getting the bye. You get one more game in your stadium.
Yeah, we don't know the future of this college football playoff. I mean, there's a chance that our in-state teams never get to host one of these.
I know. I mean, I feel like Georgia last year. You know, look, they had the injured quarterback situation. It's a little bit different, but I think Georgia fans would have been like, I'd rather have played on campus than have to play that first game.
So let's just say that the Alabama-Oklahoma game last month goes Alabama's way.
Okay.
And they still lose to Georgia in the SEC championship.
Oklahoma's out.
Yeah, Oklahoma's out. Alabama's hosting for sure.
Oh, 100%, because Alabama would have gone into the SEC championship game
at 11-1,
ranked in the. They would have been ranked in front of Georgia,
number 3.
Yeah, they'd have probably been number 3.
So
they lose to Georgia, they probably fall to 5. I bet they're in the 5-12.
They're hosting James Madison.
Yeah, I don't think they would have fallen below Oregon.
Now I wonder if, because it's the Alabama brand, if they would have put that the Friday night game or it'd be a Saturday game against James Madison.
You know, I could. Alabama would have had 2 losses in this scenario. I don't think they would have stayed as a bye.
What kind of buzz would be going on, though, for James Madison, Bama, and Tuscaloosa? I think it'd be really big.
I mean, yeah, you'd sell it out. It's another home game, right?
I mean, how big was Wisconsin this year?
Pretty big.
Be bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, it is a playoff game. Here's Brent Venables talking about. I'm just trying to do this in my head, and I'm going to screw up doing it. I'm trying to think of what the rest of the playoff would look like, just based on that one outcome. Because Oklahoma's out, that means Notre Dame is in. Notre Dame's probably in the 10-7 against Texas A&M, and I guess your 8-9 would be Miami and. Wait a minute, what am I missing here?
I mean, Ole Miss. Where's Ole Miss? Where's A&M?
Yeah, Ole Miss probably gets bumped down. I guess A&M gets bumped down. It's probably Notre Dame, Ole Miss, and A&M taking on Miami still. So that's really the only.
But I mean, that is kind of crazy. If one play goes the other way, Alabama's hosting a playoff game next week.
Isn't that weird? Oklahoma's out of the playoffs. Notre Dame is in. Alabama's hosting. I mean, all based on you could take any play in that game, really. A missed field goal, the blocked Alabama field goal, the pick six.
Realistic. I mean, if
plays.
Alabama would have looked as bad as they did, they probably are hosting, but they still might have gotten the 4 over Texas Tech.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you would go 2 Big Ten, 2 SEC in your top 4. I don't think they would have an appetite for
Maybe
that.
not.
Here's Brent Venables, though, talking about hosting that playoff game there in Norman against Alabama.
It means a lot. It's been a big advantage for us all year. I'm sure it will be again. Just as far as, it'll be an electric environment, one where they're going to show up, with great passion and energy and make it difficult for the opponent to, communicate all those types of things, the advantages that you get. But our fan base is incredibly hungry. They've been waiting for this moment for a long time. So, that opportunity is sitting right in front of us.
A road game against a ranked team. How was traditionally Kalen DeBoer been in those situations, road versus ranked?
I mean, when people were asking me, who do you like in this game? I was like, well, Kirby Smart can't beat Alabama. Alabama doesn't lose in Atlanta, and Kalen DeBoer doesn't lose in ranked matchups, but
did all those things.
Yeah, all these, these things will all come to an end.
Alabama's still a 1.5-point favorite. I mean, that has hung in there.
Yeah.
You've had a good. What are we, Wednesday? You've had 3 or 4 days of bets on that, and Alabama's still holding as a favorite.
Yeah, I don't know what you're hearing. I talked to a big Alabama fan yesterday, and I said, are you going to Norman? And he's like, hell no, not after me wasting my money this past weekend to go to Atlanta. And I said, well, if they do win as a favorite, would you go to the Rose Bowl? It should be a great atmosphere. And he's like, hell no, after the Michigan game, getting in and out of there.
Well, I mean, this guy can't be pleased.
I forgot how bad it was getting in and out. And I thought I had escaped it leaving at halftime of Michigan, Alabama, and then you guys call me, we can't get out of here.
And Lance, that was, the game had ended.
Oh, I was in the middle of the third quarter of Washington and Texas.
The game had ended. They had done all the on-field presentation. We had done the Alabama locker room and going out and recorded a video for social media. It had to be an hour and a half after the end of the game, and we still couldn't get out of there.
Oh, I know.
It was miserable. That is not the best design.
No, it's absolutely awful.
It turns out you built a 100,000-seat stadium in the middle of a neighborhood. It's going to be tough in and out.
And that crowd was great because it was 14 playoff, and nobody knew at that point it was Nick Saban's last game, but that was Michigan, Alabama. You're going to get that same kind of buzz and crowd, Indiana, whether it's Oklahoma or Alabama.
Yeah, the Indiana fans will take that place over. Here is Brent Venables. Again, you're playing at home, but you got to face a team. You got to beat a team twice. We always hear how difficult that is. Eddie was talking to us about Venables in rematch situations, and here he is in another one.
The challenges of playing somebody you didn't play was getting to know who they are and really don't have a great idea how you match up in certain areas. This is one that there's familiarity with both teams. Third time that we're playing in, just a little over a year. And obviously we have tendencies. They have tendencies. They have certain matchups they like. We have certain matchups that we like. But at the end of the day, you can throw that all out. It's time to, start completely over. And, all that matters, good or bad, from the past, all that matters is what you do, here and moving forward.
It'd be funny if Venables leaned into the talk and be like, of course, I've stolen their signs, so I know what they're doing defensively. I mean, I've stolen all their signs, so we know what's coming.
Has he been asked about that at all?
I don't know, but because, Lane Kiffin was asked about it prior to their game, and he talked openly about it, about how Venables is known for stealing signs and stealing tendencies. But I don't know that he's ever been asked point blank about it.
Well, Alabama has
I'd own it if I were him.
Got to, they've obviously got to protect the football when they're playing this Oklahoma defense. I mean, in 2 games against Oklahoma and Brent Venables, guess how many turnovers?
Is it 6?
6.
Yeah.
6-1.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't win
games. You can't
games.
find that with any other opponent Alabama's played over the last probably 20 years.
Yeah, and you got to credit Oklahoma, and you can say Venables has a jump on a lot of these reads because he knows what's coming, but these defenses have been really good, and they have baffled Alabama.
The final hour, always presented by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Sterling and the crew, they opened the doors about an hour ago. They're ready for you at lunch. Those great chicken tenders that they have there, the great sides. They've got the great drinks at the bar, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, the po' boys, all right there at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Swing by, grab some lunch, get some dinner, enjoy a great meal with Sterling, one of the best people you'll ever meet. Just a fun dude. You tell him you're in with the next round, I guarantee you he sits down at the table and talks football with you. Loves it. That's what you get at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com. As you get out of here, do some things for us if you don't mind. If you don't already have your automatic download set on podcast, please do that. Wherever you listen to us on podcast, set those automatic downloads. It helps a ton. Follow us on social media at Next Round Live and share our content there. We greatly appreciate that. That helps us a ton. And if you have not already done it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, set your alerts, and give us a thumbs up. Your alerts tell you when we're live. Thumbs up helps us too. So we appreciate you doing all those things. You're great to us. All right, we'll be back with you tomorrow. We're going to talk tomorrow with Connor O'Gara. Indiana's the 1 seed. Connor's going to celebrate it, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully he's finally buying into this team
He's
now.
the biggest Indiana fan I know. Connor's going to be on the show. Dan Orlovsky on the show as well. Alex Golesh on the Friday show. So we got a lot coming up the rest of this week. We'll see you tomorrow. Bama and Bourbon about to record. That'll be dropped on demand later on. Aaron and Lance talking about Bama, Oklahoma, and Bama and Bourbon. I just gave you a lot there. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. See you then.